Who that? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Paladins Open Qualifiers. This is week 2. We're in Europe. And, of course, we are here today with you, your casters. My name is Rene. This is High Res, Pretty Hair. And it's time to get going for the weekend. But first, Nick, how you feeling, man?
Feeling good.
Yeah, you ready to go?
Love is in the air.
Love is in the air. That's a good segue because we've got some extra things to make you feel the love in the realm. It's the Valentine's chest. You want to pick yourself up one of these because each time you unlock one, you're going to be given a chance to win possibly part of that Sky collection, a Grok weapon, an Androxus weapon. Grover's got a new head. Pip's got some heart eyes. And there's some sprays and some poses in there, huh?
Yeah, definitely. There's the Victor eye patch as well, and the Cassie Love Struck crossbow.
And something else that we haven't mentioned, the brand new mount. The unicorn mount is in that chest.
I just love the unicorn mount spray. It's
right?
so troll. It's so troll. I love it.
It is really funny. And, of course, make sure you do that in-game. But right now, you're not playing. You might be playing and you have us on another computer, but we're going to get started with our day. Here are the standings as of what happened last week. It is Europe, as I mentioned, and the top team is Burrito. We've seen that happen in the Paladins Invitational. And the second-place team is D69. Skitlight and Interlopers following right after that with Cyclone, Hydra, Zaklan, Carney, and Itsu, and the other 4 teams to have earned points last weekend.
That's right. And so you can see now the soft seedings have come into effect. Interlopers and Skitlight are on the opposite sides of the brackets from where they played last. Skitlight played Burrito last weekend. Interlopers played District 69, got soft seeded in, so now they're on the opposite sides of the bracket. We will be watching Burrito and Interlopers up first. And this is Spunky's new team. Spunky used to play for Burrito, but was replaced after HRX.
It's going to be really exciting to see them because they also have Unbelievable, we mentioned, talking about that. Skillgan and Creatives. These are those guys that have both played at high-level teams at HRX. One was a sub, one was a long-standing player who's now been removed from the squad, but both looking to get themselves back into this pro scene in a big way. The first step would be beating the big dogs, and that big dog, number 1, would be Burrito. So Timber Mill, Ice Mines banned out by both these squads, Nick. Serpent Beach is going to be game 1.
Yep, neither of those. I don't think anyone really likes those two maps. They're both, I don't know if Timber Mill's getting redone, but Ice Mines is in the process of getting redone. Just too hard to push on Serpent Beach, though. Everyone kind of likes this one. Strong throughout, verticality all the way throughout, options for you to go. And the push isn't too long. It's not super difficult to convert, not super difficult to defend on. Yeah. It's going to come down to the champion draft.
And the champion draft, it's such an interesting process, too, that we'll be getting into very, very shortly. In fact, right now, as we begin Game 1's first draft, it's going to be up to Burritos to select their first pick. Interlopers will respond with 2. We'll follow suit that way until Interlopers get the last pick of the day. So Burrito starting off with Makoa first off, that frontliner. They want to secure that presence.
Yep. No surprise here. This is the standard first pick. Theo very good on it, but here we go. Maeve locked in. This is the brand new character to the realm. She's a flanker, extreme mobility, also decent sustain in her kit as well. 9 lives, comes with a base heal of 500. You can spec into more healing in the kit. There's a lot of sustain cards available to Maeve. This is a big pickup because Lemonade, I know, has been grinding this champion, who is Burrito's newest roster addition. So taking that away from him, Eevee as well. Those are both good picks to take away from Burrito, but they leave open Fernando and Maldamba here. And we've seen Burrito have the capability to segue into these, 2 tank, even 3 healers and go for these hyper snowball comps. So Burrito could look to just collapse and make a super strong point present fight composition here, and these 2 flankers aren't going to be able to do much against that.
No, and Interlopers is a very strong, Spunky's a very strong support player, very strong Maldamba player. He's been playing some Shaolin lately on this squad, but he knows how to use that healer. But what is interesting, you mentioned just going for this kind of off meta, that we could see the adjustment here of kind of new tactics and the picking strategy. It's been so much tanks. Burrito may be caught off guard by how high of a priority Interlopers are giving these flanks.
Yeah, they're drafting appropriately. They take the tanks. They don't take a healer. Because Ying or Maldamba is going to do okay in this composition. They do take the Drogos, however, and that's important because Drogos is going to be the best at busting this tanky composition. He scales so well with Record. Dragon Punch is going to be able to wipe a tank out almost immediately, but they do get the Ying in response. Like I said, either of those healers is going to be fine for Burrito.
And now Interloper is just safe to say, we'll take
they got
one.
Shaolin.
This could be interesting. Will they go with it? I don't think it'll be Torvald. It could be if you and I were playing, but EU doesn't seem to favor him quite often. But him and Maeve are a deadly combination. So what tank is going to round this out? There's Ruckus, there's Barrick, there's Torvald.
Probably the Ruckus if they want to go for one. It will be the Ruckus here, but they got Drogos and they got Shaolin.
This is going to be tough for him.
Those were both of Interloper's best options to pick up the record. You know, Planted is so good. Drogos with that new salvo. Both of those abilities scale off of record. That's something often abilities do not do, but in the case of Shaolin and Drogos, they do. So those are your best options, and Burrito have both of them. I just don't see this composition falling for Burrito. Bonker on Shaolin. He got MVP for his performance in Game 7 of the HRX Finals. So that Lemonade on Ying, Lazy on Drogos, Steal on Fernando, and Bird on McCullough.
And on the side of Interlopers, Unbelievable will be on the solo tank Ruckus. Spunky holding the high hopes of the fans watching and his team on Maeve. Skill Ganon on Maldamba looking to heal, stun, and keep his team alive and set up some plays with that Dread Serpent. Creatives on Eevee and Cameron.
So it looks, you know, as if Spunky's gone for Street Cred 4. He's sitting at 2,000 HP. He's also gone for Savagery 3, which is basically healing off his Pounce, as well as Walk It Off. That will just heal him up as he's running around his Prowl. A little bit of Prowl duration and a little bit of reduced ball speed in his Prowl. So that's what he's going at. Just looking to find an angle on it, but it's going to be so difficult to find an angle on Burrito.
Oh, nice stuff though. Spunky shuts Nick up in his moment and just takes down Drogos. He's found every angle he needs, making it 2. Kamiker is there. This tank flank from Feel on the Fernando did not pay off, Nick, and they just don't seem like they figured it out yet.
Yeah, they're so aggressive right now, getting picked off. Both of them sitting in the corner. The tanks weren't anywhere near the backliners. Just left them wide open to be punished there. Spunky finding another 2 knives there. Gets the reset. Planted is going to be good. Bonker has to cancel that, go into the withdrawal to try and stabilize. Spunky is on fire right now on this map. Gets his Pounce cooldown back up, so we will be safe for the time being unless Bird looks to hook him. But it will just be landing on creative and taking him out.
Bird actually misses the hook there, but he hits the Makoa. Cannonball from Makoa, 93% and counting on the objective. Burrito finally gets himself back onto the board. Take a look at the damage coming out from Ruckus. Still getting it with that headshot. Feeling like this man aimbotted, but we know he's not. An Impale will stall that for a moment. Lazy fought with Kamiker, but all the damage, all the time spent on the point is for not as Interlopers get themselves the first point in this objective. As Spunky continues to go on a rampage and Creatives, now it's his turn to get a double kill.
Bird finally shutting down Spunky. They're holding it down, but he's going to have to remain the time being long. He's going to find the long range Impale that doesn't find the stun. Not getting locked down against the Ruckus there. He's still at full HP. Lazy is now back up. Trying to find ult charge, find damage here under his Ying, under everyone basically right now. Drogos is traditionally a character that gets his ultimate charge done quicker than most.
It's a bad spot for Ruckus as well. The Fire Spin should confirm it. There's Lazy's Fire Spin. It will hit a lot of members, force them all back. Almost gets the second, but they are just out of range. Now he's faced off against Kamiker again. He won this battle before. Both of them took each other out. Phil will come over and secure that with the flanking Fernando. So, minute and 30 seconds left. Lazy's found his rhythm. Nick, this is looking much better for Burrito on the defense, and it wasn't the point.
Yeah, he had 55% ult charge in his first 2 or 3 lives, and now he got himself about 40 or 50 in this one. He's finding his rhythm, like you mentioned here. User Rip Ultimate available, ready to go. Immortal's about there as well. Dragon Punch gets topped off with a nice salvo from Lazy over the wall. Fire Spit, just a zone. Check it out. 10 minutes remaining here. Interlopers have all 5 ultimates on the board, so they can look to push in here. But the Ruckus is taking a lot of damage.
Back, it's fantastic play, and Green and Skill Ganon able to follow up on that as well with the Dread Serpent coming out in tandem. Spunky picks a kill on Bird, and Unbelievable with the backline just firing like a machine gun and taking out, assisting Spunky to take out 2, and the push continues. The power of this, though, Nick, is there's still 40 seconds left to regain some of that ultimate charge.
Absolutely, and Burrito just not getting the respawns out. Spunky, good job laying down poke from the distance here. Theo is going to find the fireball as well as Bonker laying down the cover fire from what's left. Skill Ganon just trying to get back, heal up his team, but they are cauterized right now. Eats the fireball, 50% healing production from that. Lazy able to thrust away from the Maldamba stun, it looks like. It's going to be the call to back off from Interlopers. They'll probably try to stay relatively close to the payload here. Creative looks like he is ready to trigger that overtime on the Eevee with this positioning that he's got right now. now. Blinks in on Lazy. The wormhole is going to take him out. Has to store in if he wants overtime to get going. And
Big time stuff by Creatives. Gets the kill on 2 Lazy. And that's going to mean they're down 4-5. And Unbelievable and the team are ready to push. The flankers doing so much damage. You can pick up this kill on Shaolin. It would be huge. But Creatives loses sight of him for now. And his sight has failed him, as it would see. Overtime still ticking in away. It is down to the wire here. Ying's still alive. But oh my god, Lazy gets a double kill. Feel and Lemonade follow suit. And everyone is down on Interlopers. 1-1 goes to score.
Burrito have 3 ultimates left. Dragon Punch, Heat Haze, and Immortal. Immortal, I don't know. I don't know if Theo had it when he got Dread Serpent, but Interlopers have the burst off the back of a Dread Serpent in combination with the damage amp. 20% damage amp, not many people know that comes along with the Dread Serpent, not just the Theo there. Theo is going to get burst down a lot of times, especially as Cauterize comes online. Lemonade's not going to be able to do a whole lot to keep him alive, so Immortal, not the best here. It's going to be better for things like Hexafire, for things like Ice Storm, just keeping themselves alive and trying to counter the follow-up as best you can. But a lot of times, you know, if the initiation is good enough, the Immortal will just kind of delay the inevitable.
And the thing that I want to watch here is that as Midnight ticks away, where does Spunky go with this Mave? There's the Midnight. Who is he looking for? Is it him specifically, or is he just trying to zone people out, make them scared? And look, he picks up Bonker. That is absolutely huge. Through the Heat Haze as well. That is key. Even though Maeve trades her life, it gives Unbelievable some much needed room, and now Burrito are able to be zoned by this Ruckus with 42% going on the objective.
Wisely backing up as both of the tanks from Burrito are starting to move in. Dragon Punch on a Kamikaze is going to connect. Nobody needs to be getting hooked right now. Interlopers playing this smart, staying in the backline. Dread Serpent is coming up, so look for them to initiate off the back of this Maldamba ultimate in this next team fight.
Nice planning, getting some damage. There is Bonker Bird, a little low, pops the Shell Shield, and gets near the Ying clone so he can start healing up. There's the Dread Serpent as well over in the backside. Bonker content to just keep firing from the rafters. Lazy, however, he looks to seek a fight with Kamikaze and is forced to thrust up and over. Sitting there and sliding off the walls, trying to figure out who he needs to go for because his health is so low. Hits a nice fire spit there as well. 51% for both teams. The salvo comes out and the reload is there, but Spunky gets 2 on the Lazy and Bonker.
Make it 3. Triple kill in the backline for the Mave. Very, very healthy right now. Boxing out with this Fernando. Might be able to win this trade if he doesn't have his Cauterize online just yet. The shield comes up. He's trying to get down there, but too little, too late. Interlopers captured the second payload. This Mave pick is coming up big for them.
Lemonade coming through as well, though. As this payload is captured, just putting an end to Spunky's Mave play. Maybe even a little upset that Spunky gets to play Mave and not him this game, especially because of how well he's been performing on her in further tournaments earlier on this week. But now, 2 minutes and 6 seconds, Nick. Mave seems to have been really working out for them. That ultimate Midnight is making a difference in these initial point fights.
And that's going to make up for her weakness. It blinds the entire enemy team of Burrito for 4 seconds. And the strength of them right now, he has absolute dominance right now. He can take any angle that he wants. Burrito are not going to see him coming. He is low HP right now. Going to be using that walk it off card in his prowl to regenerate some of that HP, but will need to take it easy for a moment.
He's going to use 9 lives as well. Get him back to 1,000, so he will barely survive a little bit of damage and aggression. But look at his focus on limiting.
I don't like that 9 lives there.
He, you know, it was a little early. He got out of prowl early as well, just to poke. He would have been able to heal up out of that. He should have stayed maybe for a moment. But again, it happened. It's 1 minute and 20 seconds left still. More importantly, though, Nick, I mean, looking at the way that he's focusing Lemonade, I think this is a very smart strategy by Spunky and Interlopers. Take the healer out. He's got Cauterize too. And if he wins that duel, I mean, they're at such a big advantage.
It's just so hard to punish him. Cauterize is your best bet, but she's so elusive, so hard to even tag with anything. Theo's been doing a decent job of it, pounding her with those fireballs when he gets the chance to. 50% base healing reduction on that. He's getting in the backside, mixing it up, just trying to separate Maldamba from this Ruckus, trying to cut the umbilical cord right now, and you see it's starting to pay off as Unbelievable falls lower and lower. Skill getting overextends to try and get back to Unbelievable, but is taken down by Bird in the process.
57 health and finally falls. Bird gets the kill as well, and so they've stayed this aggressiveness for a moment. Great ice block as well. Bird will not finish that off, so Eevee will stay alive. Spunky is still alive with Maeve as well, just kind of trying to patrol the upper sides, using her double jumps that inherently give her the advantage in the air over a lot of characters. Here's a nice hook, though. He's going to slither away. Bird's not going to pick up the kill on that one. Theo might have gotten himself in a bit of a troubling spot here. Unbelievable wearing down on the shields. It's no longer there. Can the stun be found? No, it can't. 12 seconds now on the clock.
Maldamba has the Dread Serpent ready to go. Lazy's in a rough spot here, but will get the thrust reset as he falls lower and lower. Burrito, though, dug in. The tanks are moving in. Lazy goes down, but Bird finds Spunky in response. Bonker with a trading out. 2 for 2 so far in the engagement. Overtime ticked through, so Interlopers have to find the win here, and these trades are not going to get it done.
They've got ultimates, but do they want to use them? Last round, they tried to do so, and it was unsuccessful, and they didn't bring their big guns to the point fight. But unbelievable, he decides to go there. He's going to get some ultimate charge, at least stall some time, especially with Repulsor Field. The withdraw from Shaolin's going to keep him silent, deadly, but not able to finish off the kill. Creatives gets out of there. The defense is successful, but Eevee escapes with her life, and Interlopers find themselves tied yet again with Burrito.
But pulling ahead and winning these payloads every round is going to be getting Interlopers ahead in the net worth. You get 300 credits, which is essentially a tier 1 item outside of Chronos every single round. So roughly 600 at minimum, these guys are ahead right now. Unless somebody's playing out of their mind on Burrito, closing the gap slowly, they're definitely going to be in favor of the credits here on Interlopers. You can see the cauterized 2s online for Creative and Spunky. Wreckers is trying to get in there. Unbelievable is heavily invested into that Wrecker right now. Level 3 online for him. Haven't seen any good Hexafires come out just yet. All 10 ultimates are on the board. Master Ridings from Thiel and Bird to try and gain favorable positioning this time around. And not a lot of hook initiation here. It's so difficult with the Midnight here. That's likely to be popped once again.
And this has been the same exact strategy. Burrito take this high ground. They get poked out by Maeve so extremely well, and then the Midnight comes through. She hasn't decided to use it yet. Looking for damage in the back line. Pops the 9 lives for the dash reset. Bonker, he knows something's coming. Maeve, she's looking to finish him off. She's going to get one more shot. She takes down Bonker. Lemonade comes in the backside with a little bit of healing, but the damage more importantly. And here it is, a Dread Serpent. They need to get Bird. They do finish him off. The Mending Spirits on the Creatives will help to keep him alive, even in Ice Block. And there the stuns looking for it. 75% and counting on the Interlopers. Burrito are falling apart.
Immortal ready to go. Thiel falling lower and lower. Has a shield cooldown, but how long will it hold? Dragon Punch comes through as well. Immortal is popped to keep Lazy and Thiel alive. Spunky very healthy, just throwing daggers in. Lazy very, very low. Spunky's looking for it right now. Gonna pop the Prowl to try and get up in the air. This is a couple knives. Prowling forward, but he won't need it. Spunky finding the air shot. Lemonade with a little wiggle dance here. Gets taken out as well.
This is unbelievable play by Spunky on this Maeve. Using the dashes in different ways that we've seen. Nick, so much mobility from that dash. Just using it to get the final shot. These knives are so accurate by him. 96%. He knows his team can take another capture objective lead here. Lazy getting poked out. Look at these knives, man. Oh, dang. Just dashes through and ends the life. Overtime takes away an objective again for Interlopers.
Bird takes him out, finally shutting that down. Doesn't get a whole lot, only 10% on his ultimate charge for shutting down that streak. No ultimates left for Burrito. Scout is ready to go for the Interlopers. And you know, all things told, you would want the Scout on the side of Burrito to try and counter out this Midnight a little bit. So maybe that's why they went into the Cassie instead of the Shaolin, just to avoid giving that Scout ultimate over to Burrito.
That's so important.
So many people can play that character so well on Burrito.
No, that's such a good point because Cassie essentially is a hard counter ultimate to Maeve's ultimate. You get vision of the enemy team, and even though you can't really see around, you can still see their outlines on the map, so you know where they're going, you know if you're being aggressed on, and that is everything that Maeve does not want. In the backline, Bonker has no idea who to aim with. I mean, what's going to happen? He pops Heat Haze, but it doesn't matter. He's not going to be able to get out of that one, and Kammaker and Creatives finish this up. This is not looking good for Burrito now. They've started to snowball. Their respawn timers are going to be late. It takes a second longer to kill Lazy, and now they've got a minute and 30 seconds to start this zone.
This is really strong. 7 seconds on the respawn for Lazy. Members of Burrito starting to trickle out, but Spunky's already has his eyes set on Lemonade. Bird moving out, trying to find a hook onto someone, onto anyone. The shell shield comes out. Will pop onto Spunky. Spunky falling lower and lower. One more knife will do it. He finds Bird before he gets back in as the payload rounds the final corner with a minute left.
Turtle goes down. Turtle is sinking, but the dragon's flying and the daggers are flying just as well. He looks to pounce. One more shot will kill Lazy. He jumps up into the air. He gets impaled by Bonker. Great play. Prowl not going to save his life. Almost died, in fact, to that. He gets behind, but Bird able to finish him off thanks to maybe a bit of a misplay there by Spunky, hitting his head on the top of that railing. So 38 seconds now. Burrito have finally found a little bit of rhythm defensively.
Yep. 3 ultimates available here. How much can Interlopers get Burrito to spend? They've put them with their backs against the wall here, so Burrito have to spend their ultimates on this defense, or they will lose the game if they give up the conversion here. And this is the advantage Interlopers is going to look to abuse going into this final team fight here. Try to get Burrito. If you can't find the conversion, get Burrito to spend as much as possible.
Kammaker playing extremely well on a 12 streak, but falls to Bonker. Good night comes out from Maves. Going to give his team the advantage in this point fight, but the Immortal comes out for Fernando, so no kills can be confirmed. But that's 1 kill for Spunky, and he falls. Bonker takes down Unbelievable. Bonker looking to finish things off. Creatives in the ice block. One more shot. Bonker and Lazy combine to take him down, and the defense is successful for Burrito. 3-3. This is going down to the end.
Pretty good fight there from Interlopers. They were able to get Ancient Rage and Immortal, 2 huge cooldowns. You know, you look at Illusory Rift, that's not going to do a whole lot with these Cauterized 3s online. You look at Heat Haze, probably not going to get a lot done there, considering Spunky has shown that he hit 2 knives and a pounce while Bonker was in stealth. So those aren't ultimates that outright win the team fight. Immortals and Ancient Rages are things that will swing the team fight in your favor. Dragon Punch has to connect here because Interlopers only had to pop the Midnight. You see, they still have 4 ultimates ready to go. Burrito had to spend 2 for the defense there with their backs against the wall.
With 3 seconds remaining, all of these teams, all these players on these teams are looking to get the first win in this series. It means so much to Burrito. It means so much to Interlopers, who have 2 subs, who have 2 players who have been kicked off and not on any more high-level teams, and really trying to say, no, 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 we are the new high-level team together. And it is up to Lazy to stop them and cement their 1 place in the world, which is #1 right now. 36% though for Interlopers. They've got so much to do on the side of Burrito to get this back, but a Dragon Punch in his hand for Lazy could help it out.
Nice
Salvo takes down Creatives.
Dragon Punch still ready to go. Doesn't need a double kill onto the point. Unbelievable. Taken down, but 48% already gained for Interlopers. Lazy falling back right now. Finds 1 shot, finds 2 shot, but doesn't win the trade. Lemonade gets Spunky though. Kammaker, the only DPS here, now left with his healer. Burrito are starting to claw their way back. Theo is pressuring this, though. He's not going to let this go unpunished. Here comes the Hexafire. Can Burrito find the response? They get behind the corner, but they take a lot of damage in the process.
Great positioning by Theo. He zones out that corridor so that Kammaker can't dash in as fast as he wants to finish off some of these kills. Bird gets the hook, but he's going to roll away. He's going to hit the illusion. He's not going to get a low. He's going to get killed by Eliminate. The illusions helping out so much there for Team Burrito. And 54% now with Spunky dead on a 6-second respawn timer. I'm not sure there's going to be enough time.
That could be it. Interlopers' composition does not excel at bullying their way back onto the point like Burritos does. Umbi is so low right now. Eats the hook on his way out. And that could be Interlopers dead to rights here. Gamer1, stay on the point, Bird. You need to finish this one out. 90% climbing. Theo zoning out. He is extremely low here. This is Interlopers' last chance.
It's good night. And will it be good night for Burrito? Theo looking to maybe fall here. Spunky gets the kill. Bird, will he go down? Spunky's got knives and he's got to finish him off. Double kill for Spunky. And can Interlopers finish it? They will. Game 1 goes to Interlopers over Burrito Esports.
Wow. I mean, that was so expertly played from both teams. I really think it just came down to Burrito with their backs against the wall, not having the Ancient Rage or the Immortal available going into the first fight in that final round. You see, it was so close. You know, if there was an Immortal there, Theo could have stayed alive. If there was an Ancient Rage, Bird would have stayed alive there. That would have been a very different team fight. But playing so well out of the gate puts Interlopers ahead, puts them in the driver's seat, and they're able to capitalize. 3 members breaking the 100K barrier to Burrito's none.
I'm not going to lie. 100,000 damage for Ruckus is very impressive as well. That is a lot of damage for a Ruckus to be doing, and I would have expected him to be more on the 60 to 70%, 70,000 damage there, but he really played a great game. Kammaker as well, kind of silent but deadly Cassie, and then this Maeve from Spunky. I mean, this 3,622 credits, I mean, only second to Unbelievable right there. This guy was nuts.
It got so much harassment. We have the double flanker here, Eevee and Maeve, so much pressure for Bonker to deal with, for Lazy to try and deal with, and Lazy's not... Drogus is not super great at tracking down either of those characters, and Maeve, I've been playing a decent amount of Maeve, and I actually like the Maeve Drogos matchup. She can get up in the air. If you're landing your pounces, it resets your ability to double jump, so you can get a lot of hang time up with Drogos in his face, landing knives, and it's so difficult for him to land mid-air rockets.
Yeah, that's one of the most difficult tasks we've seen, like any champion do, mid-air rocket against another mid-air.
Trust me, we know.
We know. We've done the 1v1 Drogos. It wasn't pretty. I didn't win. Let's put it that way. Stone Keep going to be the next map where they play. And Burrito scratching their heads a little bit. I think they know Bird's a very calm and collected guy. He probably knows what went wrong there. I think it just was very simple. They didn't take the Cassie when they could have taken him. They decided the Shaolin. And I think this was, I think that was really the big mistake. That Midnight, to me, was the game changer in all of those points.
And Cassie, you know, Cassie and Shaolin, they both have very good 1v1s. You know, in a vacuum, when you hit all your skill shots, I think Shaolin's going to come out in the DPS department. But with Maeve, I was actually watching Z1 Unknown stream, and he was playing Cassie against a lot of Maeves and doing fairly well. The disengage, kind of stalling her out in the air. You can counter the pounce, I think, a little bit with the disengage. I'm not sure how that interaction works exactly, but bringing that amount of burst damage and the ultimate, I think, is going to be the key.
Yeah.
Because just giving up your backliners for free, and there's nothing really you can do if you don't have Scout.
Yeah.
But it's going to be the Makoa first pick, and the Maeve is going to be snagged up alongside the Drogos as well.
Interesting. I wonder why they went this way, Nick. I mean, you said the Drogos is a pretty decent matchup for Maeve. Obviously, Lazy played it well, but it didn't seem like that was the biggest impact in last game. Why do you think Interlopers go for that first pick?
They took it because Fernando still being on the table. Drogos is so good against double tank. Burrito took it not because it was so great against Interlopers comp, because it was so great against their composition. They didn't want Interlopers to have it the same way, you know, Shaolin was good against Burrito. They didn't want to let the Cassie go, but Burrito, they take it away this time. This is going to be very telling. How can this ultimate be used? It's not going to just be pop it for free. Now, Scout has a purpose.
Absolutely. And that would be very important, too. If Maeve can still win that 1v1, if they can get Cassie out of the fight and then pop the Midnight, it's still going to have that impact. But as long as they're both up, ulting, ult for ult, they are going to basically cancel each other out, give Burrito the information they so desperately needed last match. But here comes a very interesting draft, Nick. The Kinessa and the Fernando.
The latest Fernando I've seen in a long, long time. So Burrito have the option to go into the Eevee to try and counter out this Kinessa. They have their healer, so Interloper's probably going to go with the last picking here. I don't see Burrito going for kind of that cheeky double healer.
Ruckus on the table.
There's still Ruckus on the table. This will tell us a couple of things. Shaolin going fairly late as well. How much do they value the double frontliner? They can't just let this Kinessa go for free with Eevee on the table. I mean, come on.
I think the Ruckus is there. You know, Burrito's shown kind of this propensity again and again to have a little bit of a tankier lineup. I think they like that. I think they trust in their damage dealers to be able to carry that game the way they need to. Shaolin is going to allow the pressure to happen on a Kinessa. He's essentially a sniper, but what's interesting here is Eevee's out of this game, not even picked at all, and Pip comes through. This is an interesting draft, and if Interlopers play the way that they played last game, if Spunky plays the way he plays on Maeve, I think
it's going to be tough to stop.
It's going to be really hard to stop.
So with the double frontliner, a couple things that Burrito can do to deal with this Kinessa. They can leave the Ruckus on the point, send Bird to be kind of that pseudo flanker alongside the Cassie as well. Cassie works as kind of the pseudo flanker, and so does Drogos. They can get to the back line safely, especially when he's protected by Makoa. So Lemonade here probably going to be looking to roll into that back line to try and deal with the Kinessa. He will be playing Cassie. Obviously, Lazy will be on Shaolin, Bonker on Ruckus, Bird on Maldamba, and Thiel on Makoa.
And on the side of Interlopers, it is going to be Creatives on Kinessa, Kamiker on the Fernando. Unbelievable on Pip, Spunky on Maeve, and Skillganon on the Drogos. Following along with Maeve to start this round out will be a very telling as to where and how aggressive they intend to be. There's a left-hand flank you can take, and it looks like he may try to do that. Right here. Spunky seems to be very free with his kind of movement skill and wanting to get to that back line. No one sees it coming yet. They anticipate it. He misses the first two knives on the Lazy, though, and now he's spotted out by two. But it is forced their attention away from the point. First blood now goes to Creatives as a response.
Just commanding so much attention there, Creatives. Finding free shots there. Sees Lazy. The planet is going to be good, though. Kamiker trying to trade out with his Makoa. The fireball's going to be good. The dot is there as well, and unbelievable. Able to pick him up on one of his comfort picks. Pip, Lazy trying to stay safe right now, but impaled Into the wall.
Great positioning, though, to drop into the gourd, to force the damage out onto Kamiker and have Fernando take the heat there. Creatives in the back line is going to do a lot of damage, gets a kill on Eliminate, but it is not going to help them onto the objective. They need more than just Kinessa sniping to be able to stand on this payload. That Fernando is so important, Nick. I'm already seeing a little bit of the chink in Interloper's armor here.
27% for Burrito as they move back in, but Lazy eats a huge shot. Now he's going to be forced out of combat. If not picked off by Spunky's mate, you can hear him coming. She smells the blood. He's going to get out of combat. He's going to get healed up a fair bit. Spunky is actually low enough to be taken out in one shot, and Lazy's not going to miss that opportunity.
Lazy on that shot lane doing so much better than Bonker did in that previous game against Maeve. I feel that matchup is actually in Shaolin's favor, to be honest, but I think, of course, it depends on the skill and the positioning. Where do you know? Does Maeve get the first hit? Lazy's saying, let me take this champ. I know what to do against this Maeve. He's won 2 out of those 2 battles. Nice, eliminating the back line now. He's able to have a lot more freedom now that Creatives is gone. This is going to open a whole bunch of space for Burrito, and 99%, that's an objective capture for them.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff from Lemonade there mechanically. Disengage, flawless target switching back and forth after the Kinessa pickup. So just the fun's not stopping right now for Cassie. Everyone's scouted out. Midnight not going to be used just yet, not even available. Of course, Lemonade doesn't know this, but you don't want to sit on this too long. I mean, it's not really, I think, a situation in which Interlopers are looking to pop that Midnight. Burrito, they're kind of forced to be on the payload right now. There's no real obligation for Spunky to get into the back line.
Oh, what a hook by Bird. He's going to send Maeve back to the base, and she's going to have to think about what she did. No stealing on this turtle today. He is going to catch you with that big bad hook, and there is the planet coming out from Lazy Creatives. Gets a pop shot to his head. Lazy's going to back off. 538 health, taking a lot of extra health in that 2,200 he's got for the Shaolin.
There goes the Midnight. Is popped. Spunky trying to find some damage. Nobody really following up there. The Midnight's going to expire. Nobody from Burrito has fallen. Spunky very low.
Again!
Eats a big arrow from the longbow as he rounds the corner, popping his little head out. Kamiker healthy right now. Here's the Hexafire, though. He's going to be able to get in front of that for a time, but that shield went down real quick.
Wow, Kamiker just getting melted. And again, like I mentioned, just showcasing the difficulty, the chink in the armor of the strategy for Interlopers, Nick. There's 1 minute and 3 seconds, and there is the Headhunter. He's looking for one more crit. Spunky's going to follow up on the kill. Just Creatives putting him in the kill zone. Spunky there with this Maeve, able to follow up and finish off the dinner.
Withdraw away for Lazy, so he will stay alive. Taking Spunky with him. Burrito have 3 ultimates available to them. Scout, I would like to see it. 40 seconds, Lemonade's going to get that charge for sure. Hexafire was used to try and punch through. Dragon Punch hasn't come through yet, and Burrito don't have a response, so that's a nice trump card for Interlopers to try and turn a team fight around. Spunky's very deep in the backline by himself, but Lemonade getting a big shot from Creatives there. Spunky might be able to take him out. No, Lemonade goes toe-to-toe and comes out on top.
Spunky absolutely looking like a different player with this roster. There's different changes. Burrito mixed it up, different players on different champions. Spunky's finding no love like he did before. Creatives is going to force them back again, but no kills, Nick. They're getting them very low. Creatives' Kinessa is working in a sense, but without anybody to really pick up the pieces like Spunky needs to do. He's getting manhandled, and just Interlopers have no chance to do it. The Dread Serpent comes out, and here's Unbelievable, trying to stay alive as best as he can. One of the better pips in the world will fall to Bonker's Ruckus, and here comes Fernando, but the hook is going to make sure that he goes down very quickly, almost as fast as the shield. This is the 2-0 push for Burrito.
And the difference here is the Maeve isn't having the same amount of impact. Kinessa is doing fairly well for herself, but there's so much burst damage between Lemonade and Lazy this time around. And especially given that Lemonade has Cauterize too, so much of what Maeve tries to do is you can full commit, but your sustain has to be there. Cauterize shutting down the 9 lives healing, shutting down the Prowl healing, shutting down the Pounce healing as well. Spunky is so heavily invested into sustain on his kit. That means he is so heavily countered by Cauterize, and it makes it so much harder for Spunky to come out with anything, much less an even trade with these Cauterize online, with Lemonade playing the way that he is.
So you look at the damage dealt, you see Kinessa at the top of the charts, but one of the big Achilles heels of Kinessa on your roster is that she cannot step on that point point unless a team really gets around that mentality. Theo just there to pressure out Spunky initially. Misses the hook, and there comes Goodnight. The scout could be available, but it actually is
It was popped.
It is popped a little earlier to stop that, and there it is. Here comes Maeve into the back line. This is what she needs to do, Nick. He gets one kill. This is a totally different fight now. The fact that Maeve can go and just snowball off of this. One kill can make such a big difference. Here's Lemonade. He's got the cauterize. There's the pounce. No more healing for Spunky, but can he finish it off? He can. Spunky going on a rampage right now as Maeve continuously with Interlopers 27% in the lead.
But they spent everything. Midnight, Evil Mojo, Immortal, Dragon Punch. Everything came out from Immortals there. So Burrito had the chance to take this back, but Interlopers are gaining ground quickly as they move north of 70%. Burrito have to make a move and fast.
Burrito only with Hexafire, and that does a ton of damage. We can see how fast that melted the Fernando shield, but how quickly can they get rid of the threats on the side of Interlopers? Headhunter comes out from Kinessa. Eliminate, takes down Unbelievable beforehand, so no healing will happen. And Kinessa, forced to use the Transporter, gets nothing off of that Headhunter. Unfortunate.
Nothing from that Headhunter. There was so much to be put onto the point. She was looking for Lazy on the high ground, I believe, who stayed alive, picks up Kamiker. Theo finds Creative in the end, and those are going to be long respawns here. This is going to be difficult. Their only frontliner went down fairly early. He's coming back quickly, though. Looks like he has Master Riding, trying to get in there, but they have so much Wrecker on the side of Burrito. They're going to rip that shield down real quick. Hexafire as well, just to put the nail in the coffin here. Burrito looks to go up 3-0.
That cauterize absolutely making a joke of Pip's healing as if it wasn't subtle enough. Unbelievable in a bit of trouble here, and he's actually going to waitlist into the walls. We'll stay alive for now because Burrito got what they came for. A nice fat capture objective. So 3-0 on the clock, 2 minutes and 12 seconds. The push is continuing, and Burrito looking like they could potentially ace this one.
EJ's ready to go. Midnight almost there. One more shot will do it. Just the timer's going to tick out there. Midnight's ready to go. Repulsor Field, though, is going to prevent a lot of Spunky's damage here, but he is able to trade out, given he has the sustain advantage now, pushing Theo back as well. 2 picks for nothing for Burrito, so they're forced to back off for the time being. But they have a lot of ultimates here, should they choose to try and break through.
What do you think about the use of Midnight there, Nick? I mean, it got them back,
It
obviously.
charges really quickly.
Yeah?
Especially when you're hitting your knives as quickly as Spunky. As you can see, he's already back to 27%. I'm not sure if he has morale boost. I don't even think he does.
So that is going to allow them to possibly have this at the end of the round as well. There's 1 minute and 30 seconds left. The benefit
easily
of 2 minutes, yeah, is you're going to be able to get that again. And it does get rid of that pressure. And he knows he's going to be needed in the back line. He's going to be needed with this ultimate to change the game. Cassie's ult still not charged yet, 56% though. And right now, Lazy doing everything that he can with his bow brother, Sista. Cassie in the back line to stay alive and force off this Maeve. 1 minute on the clock as they continue this push.
So elusive, so hard to hit is this character. Doesn't have a lot of cooldowns at our disposal right now, but long range shot will take it down. Lemonade. She brings a lot of distraction in the way that Evie does as well. Bird taking the 1v1 right now, though. Pincers him with Bonker, though Bonker was there to provide that follow-up. Spunky will go down 40 seconds. Burrito being held very, very far away from the payload.
Absolutely, and out in the fight, we see just some healing from Unbelievable. He's got the Evil Mojo available too. It is something that, you know, Pip has often picked up for, looked for as, hey, this is one of your real big strengths, and he's going to need to use it potentially at the end of this point fight if things start to go bad. They've gotten 1 pick onto Skillganon. That Drogos will be down. No blaster, no dealing with the shields, no taking down the Ruckus from the air. So they're going to have to wait for 4 seconds until he's back, and right now it's Burrito's chance to strike. They're going through all the different angles. Theo with a lot of pressure there, almost takes down Spunky, but Maeve with the mobility is going to be able to stay alive. Theo looking for one more hook, I'm sure, on the Unbelievable. His healing ends up as 4 seconds. There's Skillganon. There's the Dragon's Fury. He takes down Theo. Kamiker takes down Lemonade. Again, Skillganon finishes off Bonker, and that is surely going to be a solid hold for Interlopers.
But that's fine. That's the exact situation that Interlopers put Burrito in the previous game. They pop Dragon Punch, they pop Headhunter, they get the defense, but for what? They go into a 3-1 situation now. I mean, they're forced to do it. They had to do it. They have to hold there or they give up the game, but that's just Burrito being in the driver's seat. They move out with all 5 of their ultimates here. The advantage definitely in their favor. Bonker with that Rejuvenate here, 3, trying to counter some of these cauterize, and it's going to do a good job of it because there are no cauterized 3s online for Interlopers, so we're just sitting at that 60% anti-heal. Rejuvenate is going to get Bonker down to the 30%, so just cauterize 1, and Maldamba can he can pump through Cauterize 1. He puts out so much healing. If you get the double Mending Spirit stacked on top of the gourd, you can see him 108k. Bird Snake is definitely nothing to scoff at.
And when you realize that you've only got one frontliner, you can't heal him up in comparison to how Maldamba can heal up his. You got to use Pip as an offensive machine. And there is the Evil Mojo. What are they going to get off of it? Here's the Hexafire, though. The CC immunity may be granted as a result of that. What anticipation coming out from Burrito, although Bonker will fall to Skillgan, and it was a great heads-up play.
That's just unfortunate timing, I feel. I don't know if Hexafire can be pop reactionary enough. Nice 1v1. That's huge. Lemonade picks up Spunky in the backline. Now has room to zone here. Unbelievable. Could win this. Pip is so good at dueling, narrowly escaping with his life. But Burrito in control of the point, already moving north of 70%. Only have Heat Haze. They spent a lot to get there, but Interlopers don't have much left in the tank either.
Yeah, Kinessa right now doing a great job of getting kills, getting damage, but she needs some kill potential. Needs to finish this off. This is what she can be great at. Creatives needs to hit a few shots here. He misses 2 crucial ones. If that would have gone on to Cassie, if that would have gone on to Eliminate, it would have been a very different story right now. And so 90% and counting. This could be the game. They may decide that they have to give this up, because if they essentially just throw their healer and their dragon out there with creatives in the back line, there's nothing else to do. Skillgan falls, but at least it's bought some time for Fernando.
Fernando's on the point right now, but so are both of the frontliners from Burrito. There's a pick onto Bird. No more healing for Burrito, but no more for Interlopers. It's not as big of a deal for the Interlopers, but the Shell Shield cancels out so much of the damage from the Headhunter. Trading out kill for kill. Burrito is still there, just superior zone control. So much HP to chew through on that point. Burrito in the driver's seat there as they head into the 3-1 round, and they capitalize on it.
And that's why they picked the Ruckus. They went for just the sustain on the point. They went for the repulsor field, and they knew with that amount of shields, they just didn't have the type of lineup to be able to deal with it. That's why the Pip was selected too. But the Pip, again, wasn't able to charge that ult fast enough. It wasn't able to be as impactful, and you lose so much healing potential, Nick. You know, a Ying on this team might have really given Kamekar a chance to sustain in the same way that maybe Bonker and Theo were able to do. But with the Pip, they get the 68,000 damage, but they just cannot compete in that sustained battle.
Absolutely not. I mean, there are cauterizes on the side of Burrito, so no shots taken at. Unbelievable. Maldamba is absolutely, without a doubt, supposed to beat Pip, but by 100,000, maybe not.
Yeah.
A couple of huge turning points in that final fight was obviously the Hexafire immuning the Evil Mojo. That was absolutely massive, because that's a trade 100% in Bonker's favor. He still gets his ultimate. Pip gets nothing for that. As well as Lemonade winning the 1v1 with Spunky in the back line. And then another shot, you pointed out, Creative's missing a key shot onto Lemonade, who goes on to roll in and kill Spunky.
Yeah.
You know, that's a very different fight. If Lemonade gets taken out there, Spunky lives and then goes and kills Lazy. That's a big, big swing.
Absolutely.
So very important key things there in the final stretch. Game number 3. This is a best of 5, so Burrito with the chance to pull ahead here on Jaguar Files, but we will be seeing a game 4 at least.
I don't think we'll be looking at a Kinessa on this map, however. Unfortunately, I don't think she's did well for that team. Interlopers going with the Kinessa.
How much damage did you see?
She did 73,000 damage. She was high in the damage, but she's always 0 in the objective time, right? That's the issue. Even Lazy, who's on the Shaolin, who's essentially that sniper role, has 15 seconds on there. And that's so important, because Kinessa and that style of play just makes it so you're so isolated.
I don't know if Kinessa's great on that map.
I think she's great if you're winning. It's like a very Barrack situation, I think, because I think the forward zone is really excellent. It's so hard to get there. She could poke you out, and by the time you just get there, it's just, you're done. But the fact is that she wasn't able. She was always on the defense. She was always pressured out, even though they didn't even have that amount of flankers on the side of Burrito to deal with it. I
mean, if you're going to be in the cathedral, right, there's not a lot of long line of sight, so you're going to be pressured back easily as well. Likewise, there's not a lot of long lines of sight on those double jumps over to the left, and all you can really do is pressure out the point. You can fire shots into Ruckus all day, but Maldama's going to be able to heal him up. So into the draft here for game number 3, Makoa selected first for Burrito, Maeve Drogos for the Interlopers, and the early Fernando comes out from Burrito. Will they go back into the Cassie?
They have to. Oh my God, they're going to leave Cassie on the table right now. I'm a little bit worried about this. I think Cassie is great, not only on this map, but I think Cassie's great now that Burrito don't have the opportunity to counter what Maeve was doing. I think Spunky having a substandard, not as impressive of a game as he had in the first round, was part of the reason that Burrito were able to come back into this. And that's a weird thing to say, Burrito kind of being in the back foot. But the way Spunky played it, they're going to grab the Cassie, and I completely agree.
the early Ruckus, well, not early, but third pick Ruckus here for Interlopers. I don't know that Burrito would have taken that away from them.
Yeah, I know. Would they have gone 3 tanks?
They may have.
You never know. It's Burrito, right?
3 tank, 2 healer. Eevee picked up, probably try to pressure out the Cassie and the inevitable Ying pick here. Shaolin still notably on the board. I expect that to be the selection for Burrito.
Well, what's interesting, too, about the Eevee and the Androxus actually comes out very surprising. So the Bow brothers may be on the side of Interlopers this time.
Or they need a healer.
Or they may go for something exactly like the Ying that they didn't pick. Unbelievable still has the opportunity to play the Pip if he wants, but the Ying will be what they select. For a little bit more sustain, I like this now. This point fight is going to give Ruckus a chance of staying on that point especially. But the Eevee, not for the Cassie. The Maeve Eevee fight is a really funny fight to watch, especially if you're not a pro, because it's just a bunch of dashing and blinking and soaring around each other and like missing.
Honestly, if I'm lazy or spunky, I feel like I'm just ignoring the other one.
Yeah,
it's tough. It's tough for Eevee. They both want to stay close, so it could go either way. It's just going to come down to a lot of burst damage in a very short amount of time, and somebody's going to come out on top. We'll have to see how that matchup goes. If they they could just ignore each other and go for their higher priority targets. Lazy will be on Eevee. Theo will be on Fernando. Bonker on Makoa Bird on Maldamba, and Lemonade on Androxus.
With Interlopers Creatives, will be off the Kinessa on the Cassie. Unbelievable on the Ruckus. Kamaker on Ying. Skill Ganon on Drogos. And Spunky on Maeve. As we start out this point fight, Skill Ganon just looking to gain the upper area advantage. Get into the skies, fire some rockets down. You see Eevee's Winter Witch Ice Blast just going through. Actually connects with Skill Ganon, who's turning the corner and puts him at a bit of a disadvantage. He's going to have to back off for a bit. Actually still in the air and very connected.
Wow.
Great shot by Lazy. Almost takes out the dragon.
Man, that's what it comes down to when you're lazy. That's not a matchup that he is going to win. But Theo finds Spunky, first blood, going over to Burrito, and they're in control of the point here. But Interlopers are now looking to make a move. No one taking a clear, decisive win in this team fight just yet.
Absolute dominance here by Lazy in the air. He hasn't gotten a kill, but he's done so much damage, been so effective, forced so many people back, and now it's really starting to show. Maeve is still alive. Eevee versus Maeve. It doesn't matter because Fernando's actually interrupted this fight, and though the double jumps are real, Lazy with the snapshot's gonna clean up his former teammate Spunky and give Burrito 78% on the objective and a forward zone that should secure point number 1.
Yeah, I mean, this is the forward zone of time from Lazy. He is an expert at this. Holds all 5 members of Interloper back. They don't even leave the base. They know the payload is all but gone. Lemonade, shout-outs to him, picks up 3 kills in that previous engagement. A lot of cleanup duty there for the Androxus, who excels on this map, as there's a lot of ways to break line of sight, so Nether Step is more useful on this map than other maps like Frog Eye, where they have the long lines of sight. Lazy, able to escape.
Unbelievable, able to get out of that, and unbelievable not able to actually close up the kill. A lot of unbelievable about that play. 2 seconds, 2 minutes actually, on the objective clock timer. They've got to push this payload, and the squad of Interlopers are going to do everything they can to stop them now. They've gone down a lot of points, actually 5 in a row. No, not 5 in a row, 2 in a row now to Burrito after having the first game in the bag with some impressive Maeve gameplay, but haven't been able to recreate it yet. Spunky here going against Lemonade, trying to do what he can do. It's a duel in the back line. Maeve versus Androxus. Maeve gets the pound shot. Maeve gets the daggers and takes down the King of the Skies.
That's close. That's a close matchup there. 3 for 1 for Interlopers here. So just looking to clean up the members of Burrito. Bird actually trading out.
My snake likes you.
Pounce goes through Reversal because Reversal is considered a shield for all intents and purposes, a Fernando shield to be specific. So that is 1,200 unanswered damage that Lemonade can't do anything about. And that's, you know, over half of his health. And so that's going to be a very difficult 1v1 for him to win. But, you know, he could get 2 lucky headshots in a row and take the Maeve off.
Absolutely. And that's the thing with Androxus. 2 headshots or, you know, 2-3 shots if she's running street cred as well is going to put him in a great position against the low health Maeve. Gets a great kill on the skill Ganon there. Lemonade knows there's time to move in. He gets 3-4 in a row. Lemonade going out of his mind. He's got another step. He wants to finish it off. Looking for one more. Snapshot to the head. Spunky goes down. He wins that battle. And Burrito Esports move forward. 34 seconds left.
With a lot of heavy-hitting ultimates to punch this through as well. Immortal, Ice Storm, and Ancient Rage. And Burrito, they're so good at snowballing. That is what's keeping them ahead of the pack in terms of the competition. They find a pick on a Creatives and Bird, able to back up. Just so much tank pressure, so much beef in your face right now. The Dragon Punch comes out. The Immortal's here to answer, but will it be able to outlast? Lemonade takes him out mid-air. 10 seconds remain. Ancient Rage still on the board.
Oh, catch these hands, bro. He's about to get the reversal. He goes up into the air. His ultimate's not charged yet, but who needs an ult when you're aiming like Lemonade? Kamiker actually goes down, but Spunky will return the favor and get the daggers into the back of Androxus one more time. Overtime ticking away. It could have been the crucial play. Skillganon does a great job to avoid this and stay close enough to the payload. Great job by him to actually get up and down enough to still stay contested. Almost an impossible thing for him to hold. And Burrito get a 2-0 lead, which is so important, Nick.
Absolutely, because they can, even losing the payload in this round, which I don't think they plan to do. They are ahead in the net worth because when you capture the payload, you're going to be up 300. Deft Hands comes out for Bird. You know, that cheese boat's not really around anymore, but Ruckus is so susceptible to it still. Has to rewind up all of his DPS as well. The miniguns need to get spun up after the stun. Leading the net worth, you can see there, by as much as 700 for Bird, who's going to be camping out on the payload for the greater part of the game. He's almost 1,000 credits ahead of Creatives. Cassie, who is trying to get this Cauterize 2 online, but just doesn't have enough money. Whereas if you look at Bonker, he's got Cauterize 2 and Rejuvenate 1 and Haven 1.
I mean, Bonker's just living a life of luxury over there. Playing this Makoa, getting hooks right and left. Unbelievable. Back onto the objective. Pops the emitter, pops the repulsor field. He's going to stay alive for a little bit longer. And now his DPS is starting to kick in. And this is the range that you want to be at. Eliminate, get Spunky, but Skillganon and squad of interlopers are able to take down the front line of Burrito Esports. This is a very big deal, but also what's very important is that Theo is still alive, and he goes with the help of Lazy and Lemonade to clean up the rest of interlopers, man.
Mama, there goes that man. 4 kills in the back line for Lemonade, just playing, you know, judge, jury, and executioner. Finds a cleanup kill on a Skillganon as he's trying to exit stage left. Cursed Arm is available, and he's playing out of his mind right now.
I mean, Bloodlust is something that I think
it's the revolver, dude.
It might be. I mean, talk about lust. You know, he's got this Valentine's Day skin. You know, Androxus, he's been alone for a while.
He wants
to play.
That's exactly it, man.
You know, he wants to play. He's got his gun. He's like trying to just shoot people and show his affection. That's all he knows how to do. He's king of the skies.
He's a cold man.
Didn't go to Cotillion.
Turned warm by the love there. Not missing a shot onto Spunky. How dangerous this character can be when you're feeling it. And if you want to make shots like Lemonade does, kids, buy the love revolver there.
It is nice too. I love the reload on that as well.
The pink effects.
He's barely having to reload though. He's just using 6. His one clip is enough to kill 4 people on interlopers. It seems like he's got the Cursed Arm as well. That ultimate is going to do so much. Great hook by Bonker to cement the deal. Up in the air just in case he needs it, and he's going to use it. But Spunky will snap up with the daggers and turn the lights out. It's time for him and his team to go install this defense for now. 1 minute and 44 seconds left, and Burrito's so close to finishing the game, he had to throw everything he could, and Spunky doing everything he can, which is a lot to stall this for his team. And really, Nick, if he's going to play this way, they're going to have a good job. They're going to be able to be effective here, but he just hasn't been able to keep that up consistently.
Overextends there, trying to take out Lazy and Lemonade punishment as well. I didn't like that Cursed Arm too much from Lemonade. Everyone was there from interlopers. That's a highly telegraphed play that you have to kind of use towards the ends of fight once defensives are blown, once people are on the run. Dragon Punch is going to come through, try and find some value, but the Immortals actually popped. Bonker's going to be able to keep himself alive, full healed with the Ancient Rage. Huge Dread Serpent coming out in combination with the Hexafire. Most of it's blocked out, and he is cleaned up. Unbelievable. Takes the spill here. Burrito with the clean sweep. Aced out, and they're looking to push this payload in.
And there seems to be no way for interlopers to get back onto this one. The time is just not in their favor. And as Sky said, time's ticking. And it is ticked out for interlopers. Great stuff, however, for them. But Burrito come and take 2 wins off of them and get themselves in a really good spot going forwards. Interlopers, though, showed a lot of spunk in these matches as well, and Spunky being one of the most spunk-worthy. He just had an incredible performance on Maeve in the first game. Last 2 games, he was really shut down, though.
They're both doing a lot of damage. Everyone's did decent damage that was supposed to this game. It's just that double tank on Jaguar falls. how closed in that point is, it's going to favor Burrito a little bit. And Lemonite, given the game that he had 20 and 3 with 7 solo kills, when he's having a game like that, it's just tough, right? It's not that anyone was doing anything super wrong or overextending or getting out of position on Interlopers. It's just Lemonade had that type of game. When one man puts away 4 of your teammates in the back line roughly by himself, there's not much you can do.
No, there's absolutely nothing you can do. And again, Bird coming out there and 0 deaths as well. You know, he's had an incredible performance on these healers. And so it's going to have to change. If they want to push this to a game 5, we've seen that the Interlopers have a chance to really start shifting Burrito's play style differently, picking up these different picks. But now Burrito's adjusted. They've really cemented this kind of tank lineup with the damage. Lemonade's starting to fire on all cylinders. Lazy's starting to fire on all cylinders. And Fish Market is a map that they like to close things out on. They closed the finals out last week on this map against D69. So they're comfortable with this.
They sure did. And this is a map I think could be good for Maeve.
Yeah, I think
around
so.
the point fight. I don't think so much so towards the end of the payload push, because it is a little bit more open. It's going to be tough. But, I mean, she's just so fast.
She's so
in
fast,
Prowl, even if you're serpentining through a wide open Timbermill point, you're still going to be difficult to hit. And I think that's where Eevee falls a little bit behind, because blinks are telegraphed. You can hit Eevee during the windup for Blink, similar to how you can hit Kinessa during the windup for her transporter. And that's just something that Maeve doesn't have. That dash is damn near instant, and it's not something that's easily punishable.
No,
unless you're aimbot.
Unless you're aimbot, which you've had experience with that one for sure. And you know who wouldn't trying to kill you in game, man? It's an achievement.
God bless.
It's a lifetime achievement.
Focus the streamer.
It's like a console achievement, but it like actually happens in your iris. You just see it like in the future. Yeah, it's just like
Dumpster pretty hair.
Dumpster pretty hair. 10 points.
Feels bad.
That's
Interlopers with the first pick this time around for the first time in this set. They are going to go with the Makoa here. So do we see Lemma Maeve?
I think Burrito will be happy to take Maeve, but I don't know if they're going to prioritize it at this point. It hasn't worked for Interlopers these last 2 games, and so Interlopers going off of that first pick strategy know that getting their front lines correct, their healer front line combo correct, has been most important in deciding these matches. So Burrito, hold off for now. Give Interlopers a chance, and now that they've got Makoa instead of Ruckus and only Fernando, they got kind of the top-tier tank. Maeve could come out here with the Cassie.
But do they give up the Ruckus? They're taking the Drogo, so I think this means they're going to let Ruckus go. Back to Burrito here, sitting on this pick for a while. No, they're going to take the Ruckus.
Well, they've got a good counter to Fernando with the Drogos, and now they've really, I mean, it's going to be crazy for Burrito to actually beat sustain-wise this composition, right? They've got the Makoa, they got the Ruckus. There's a lot to deal with on the point. The flank battle is going to be important, and Burrito grabbing Cassie puts them in a really good spot, either if Interlopers decide to get Maeve or if they take Maeve themselves.
Yep, Shaolin's still available here. Eevee taken away, actually, so not really showing that they want the Maeve.
You know what I like about Eevee? You know what I like about Eevee versus Maeve is that it's a very hard target for Maeve to track, and it's a very hard target for Maeve to kill. So it's essentially taking one of her options away, because Eevee, she's doing her own thing. They're ignoring each other, but that inherently hurts Maeve, because Maeve wants to hunt down somebody. She's not really helping the team unless she's getting those crazy kills. And I think Eevee...
But is Eevee? That's
the thing. Eevee's going to be doing her own thing. They essentially cancel each other out.
Sure, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're cool with that, I guess. If Maeve is the majority of your damage or the majority of your kill potential, then it's fine for Eevee to play Distraction. Eevee's been playing Distraction for so long, and we're saying, you know, it doesn't show up on paper, but Distraction brings value to a team fight. It pulls DPS off of your backliners, lets them do their thing. And, you know, Lazy on this Eevee, he's shown the master to be able to do that, and can he kind of be okay with doing the same thing? I don't know that in the long run in a team fight, Maeve doesn't bring the same amount of sustain. She's got the burst healing in her kit, but Blink on a 4-second cooldown with the ability to heal for 600 with a flicker, she's gonna outlast Maeve eventually. And Spunky, I mean, if he can hit the snapshots on the Drogos, he's going to be able to hit some snapshots onto you. And you take one, it's 1100, and you're like, you got to make a decision if you don't have any cooldowns up. You got to make a decision. Do I stand and fight? If I eat one more, I'm dead. Lazy's full health. He's going to continue to heal. I got to be able to hit consistent daggers.
Absolutely.
And you run a risk as well. Pouncing into an Eevee, you run the risk of eating a shot while you're on the way.
Yep.
And then you get nothing for your pounce. You don't get the 600 damage. You just slide, you ragdoll. Your corpse goes sliding across the ground.
And on this map especially, there's so many open spaces. It's going to be hard to find isolated fights, Nick, without somebody being able to poke you or shoot you from another side. This left-hand spot, though, very contested. A lot of people like to get this upper ledge, and here you see Spunky just kind of sitting on the bottom ground. And there, you know, you see Thiel always on the top. So they've got both layers coming out here. Already pretty decent as interlopers start to rotate to the right side towards the center. So kind of a little bit of a
little horseshoe
action. Little of a horseshoe action that's centering interlopers in a better spot, but they don't necessarily have anything going for them quite yet. Spunky looking like he's starting off a bit more hesitant than his first game as Maeve.
I mean, he opened up hard with that triple kill in the first game.
Yeah.
But right now, Thiel's up on the high ground, and this is where Burrito is going to struggle a little bit with only one frontliner. Thiel's the only one that can look to bully his way onto the point now, and it's going to be difficult. He's already taken some poke from Maeve. Just look at all the distraction right now. Thiel's distracted. Lazy's distracted right now. Bird, Kammerker is poked out on the point right now, trying to escape for his life. Thiel is so low right now, and he's going to go down to a fire spit.
I'm not going to lie. I love the way that was played by Spunky. He doesn't even look at Lazy when he blinks over there. He knows the wormhole is coming. Look at this. He's not even looking, but he gets impaled off by Bonker, and that is the trouble with Fish Market. It's exactly what we were mentioning to you earlier. There's not going to be a lot of 1v1 fights you can take without somebody peeking their head and opening the door. That's an arrow coming through that Spunky did not expect, and though he was doing well against Lazy, he did not beat Shaolin from range.
And another big stun onto Drogos just to zone him out. Burrito win one team fight, and their zone ability is so strong that they're able to take the payload off the back of that heat haze, already ready to go. That tells me Bonker is landing all kinds of shots in these team fights.
And let's talk about this too. Maeve, she's fast, but I mean, a Shaolin arrow is accurate and almost just as fast. He hits one great shot onto her there. Spunky's gonna have to be very careful, especially if Bonker's paying extra special attention to our little street rascal there. Maeve in the back line, still trying to harass and protect herself at the same time. Gets a pounce, gets the heal off of that, which is extremely huge, and now activates Prowl, gets some of that healing, takes down Thiel. Incredible Maeve play, but Lemonade will put an end to that, eliminating Spunky and sending him back to base. Minute 46 seconds on the clock, though. Interlopers have held for now.
Fire Spit going to be immuned out by the ice block there, eating a big shot. Lemonade has found his way around the backside, we're able to trade out. Taking down Skill Ganon for nothing. Midnight. He's going to be popped here, but I don't actually... Oh, okay, he was in range. I was going to say, I don't think he was in range of all the members of Burrito. It's not global. Midnight is not global. There is just a huge range on it, but you can't just pop it from spawn and be able to support your teammate from anywhere. You have to be able to, within 300, meters, yards.
Right, 300
whatever
feet.
the unit of measurement is in the realm.
And, of course, you see that this game is predictably going in the favor of whatever team, I think, gets that first kill in these fights, right? We've seen Burrito kind of get it. They got the first kill onto Spunky. They got the first blood, and they were able to then move forward and take it down. And right now, they've been getting a lot of picks on Burrito, but they've also been getting a ton of picks onto Spunky. And you can expect Spunky now to start snowballing this, considering the fact that he just picked off Lemonade. Cassie, a huge issue for him in the past.
Ice Storm ready to go for Lazy as well. And this Ruckus is struggling there.
Nice.
Gets crippled out. Lazy picks up creative before even going into the ice block, but nice time follow-up out of the ice block. Is going to be able to take him down as well. Now it looks like Burrito losing him want to back up. Lazy is very instrumental to their team fight, pulling distraction, pulling fire off of Lemonade and off of Bonker in the front line. Dread Serpent is ready to go there, but Bonker getting pulled in is not a great way to start this fight if you're Burrito.
I would think they picked up Spunky. That's huge by Lazy and Burrito. Now they're pushing forward. 8 seconds left. Dread Serpent on the table. In fact, they've got 4 out of the 5 ultimates available to use. Thiel takes down Skill Ganon, and that's 2 huge DPS damage dealers going down on the side of Interlopers. There's a great hook, though, and that is going to put Bird in a heap of trouble. No healing now, and it is up to Bonker to try to save the day. It's going to break the shield. He's got Wrecker 1, but will he be able to keep his teammate Thiel alive? He will not. Overtime ticking down, and this will be a 1-1 on Fish Market. So Interlopers and Burrito, clean sweep. They start again, and they're ready to go back at it.
Yeah, Lazy doesn't have his Ice Storm. Spunky's about there on Midnight, but Burrito are going to be ahead in the net worth department here. They have Cauterize available to them. Cauterize 2 on Lemonade. And Lazy with the Master riding here. Not only is it good on Fish Market just because of the sheer size of the map, but it allows him to be aggressive and not get too tilted when he dies. young Kev's a pretty tilt-prone player. From time to time, he's been known to get a little bit upset. And Master Riding kind of takes that away because you can play aggressive as you want and just be getting back so quickly that your respawn timer, it's not quite as long. It's basically shaves time off of every death. So Lazy's looking to get aggressive with this Master Riding pickup.
Heat-Haze is available for Bonker, riding along with his teammates here, looking to just use his range. That range Shaolin provides in the realm, so valuable. The withdraw will give him some permanent stealth, actually some temporary stealth, but here is the good night. Heat-Haze comes through, but she's going to be able to spot him out as a result of the area that he's patrolled. Oh my gosh, it is almost a death. The death ball from Spunky, actually on Spunky, almost kills him, but he ends up staying alive for now. And Interloper is able to survive that onslaught and maybe even come out with a kill onto Bonker.
I mean, that's huge. Maldamba, Bird, solo ult Spunky, and they don't get the kill. Trading Dread Serpent for one person isn't great.
No.
But trading Dread Serpent for nothing is worse.
Yeah. 81% on the objective, too. They can't go any worse than what just happened for Burrito. Theo going to activate the Immortal and just give them the encouragement to fight. But so far, that encouragement has not resulted in anything positive for the team. Bonker, he is going to go and withdraw into a block of wood, and that's going to be Ice Block, not saving Lazy at all. Overtime still ticking away, but the zone will start, and Interlopers will surely go up 2-1 in this game.
I mean, that was the big whoopsie-daisy there, was not finding the kill onto Spunky. And it's not necessarily Burrito's fault. I think I almost like Bird just going down there instead of solo ulting because no one was really around, it didn't seem like, to follow up on it to get the kill. Maldamba doesn't have the burst damage to take down Spunky by himself. Theo was there, but again, Fernando, not the highest deeps character in the game. I would like to, you know, if Eliminate or if Bonker was around, then that's fine. But that was a big misstep for me.
Absolutely, and you know, Nick, Spunky's just playing this very freely. It feels like now he's kind of finding rhythm again. He's been back and forth with Theo on this left-hand side, really being okay, staying low. It might just be because he knows his teammates, he knows what they can do, he knows their potential, and therefore he's kind of able to counter them inherently, just understanding what they're able to do, but that will be a kill.
Smooth criminal.
Smooth criminal there. Bonker actually finishing off Spunky as he was about to take down Lemonade. Again, a big play that could have swung in Interloper's favor.
But they're rounding the final corner now, minute 30 remaining. Interloper's just now backing up Theo. Sitting at about half health here. He is cauterized, trying to get around the corner. Pops his shield at the last possible second, keeps himself alive. Bonker finds a kill onto Unbelievable. Dread Serpent is back up, so look for Bird to find the mark. He's got great Dread Serpents, you know, no shots fired at him. That one wasn't so great. Skillganon actually, I didn't mention him enough. He picked up a double kill in that fight after the missed Dread Serpent there. He carried a lot of that team fight damage on the H-Streak right now. Gonna either, doesn't have the Immortal available, so this is a guaranteed pick onto Theo. Can they follow it up? Can they punish this overextension on the Dragon Punch? He's slowly listing his way over, trading out. It's gonna be in favor of Burrito given the respawn proximity, but this is big with both tanks sitting healthy, the healer sitting healthy. Interlopers have a lot of potential to convert this payload.
This is gonna be so hard for them to get back onto this, Nick. It's gonna be a 2-2 tie. Oh my gosh, Interlopers. 3-1, excuse me. 3-1 Interlopers. They are gonna go up and be able to just dominate this last push with a great aggressive ultimate by Skillganon. You say didn't mention him enough, you could talk about him now.
Absolutely. He not only does he get the kill there on Theo, which is that's what Dragon Punch was destined to do, but a lot of times you'll see Drogo's players die
right there
when they need to go that far. There is a little bit of a post hit after the Dragon Punch where Drogo's will oftentimes be cleaned up. He gets back up into the air. He actually doesn't exit the fight. He manages to trade out with Lemonade. So he gives his team 2 picks at the start of that, giving them the 4v3 with 2 healthy tanks, a healthy healer, and Spunky. Interlopers able to find the conversion.
That was huge by Skillganon, being able to support his teammates like that. Dragon Punch, 16% right now, so not fully charged, whereas the Immortal is available Last round, Theo used that well too early in a defensive state, trying to just get his team some moments on the point. But there it is, Bonker taking the aggressive positioning on the objective. I love this spot by him. He's able to survive. He's getting healed by Bird, and they're still getting captured on this objective. There's the Midnight, though, Nick, and Maeve is looking to do her damage.
Heat Haze comes out as well. That's Spunky. He doesn't get anything done as 2 picks come through right now. There's the Dread Serpent as well. Will land on Makoa. They need to take him down. They need to find something off the back of it. There it is, Bonker cleaning up that kill. Now Spunky's in a rough spot. He is all the way backed up, 74% already. That is a dominant win from Burrito. That's what happens when Dread Serpent hits the mark with follow-up.
Absolutely. They just paid too much attention last fight to Spunky. In this fight, Spunky is forced out. He's alive, but he's forced out of that fight. And in many ways, that's a way to deal with Maeve, right? She cannot 1v5. She really wants to 1v1 and seek those duels. And if you win those earlier fights, if you poke out as a group and stay together, those bigger front lines and those healers, and then you try to focus on Maeve, she's going to be, you know, without anything to do.
Theo gets picked off there from the hook, but I'm able to find the trade onto the Ruckus. So 1 for 1 going to be in favor of Interlopers, though. The respawn proximity. Hexifiers ready to go for that. Both of their tanks. Ancient Rage, excuse me. Ready to go for Makoa Eliminate on a 4 streak right now. Just trying to zone out Spunky, but Spunky able to easily win that 1v1. Yeah. Bird falling lower and lower. He gets hooked in, picked off. Theo doing Theo stuff in the back line by himself. His days are probably numbered as his teammates are starting to fall. He's going to just hop off the map here because he doesn't want to get too staggered from the respawns of his teammates. He would rather come back with them together, because at that point, Interlopers can leave him alive, and as soon as they see Burrito start to come back and try and reinforce him, they can just pick him off. Yeah. And then Burrito, you know, they have to wait 15, 20 seconds for him to get back.
And I like the awareness of that a lot of pro players bring. I mean, in casual games, you're not going to see that, but pro players know it's so important to push these objectives as a unit. Here we see Skill Ganon with his ultimate, though. He's got the Dragon Punch available, and so does Theo. He's got his Immortal. He's got that counter ready to go, and that's the Cassie counter to the Midnight from Maeve. It's going to give both teams vision right now, but Spunky is on a 7 streak, and he doesn't need any more vision than he's already had. The Pounce will heal him, but Theo will finish him off. The burning damage from the Flame Lance of Fernando will clean up the flanker. So 40 seconds now. Burrito looking to push this, tie things up with Interlopers if they can.
And they're in the driver's seat right now, so they need to try and get Interlopers to spend as much as they can. Midnight is down, but I'd hopefully like to see them get out the Ancient Rage, maybe the Hexify. The Dragon Punch I don't think is likely. Even if it is, I don't want to see Theo pop the Immortal for it, unless it's extremely close to conversion.
Ancient Rage would be something they would so want for next point fight as well from Kamaker. So if they can stall this, if they can really defend this well and get a push going, they need to start this kill. Yeah, it's a perfect hook right there, and this should do it. It's going to be very tough right now for Burrito to get back here and extend this overtime. That kill onto the front line may have just made all of the difference, but overtime will still be ticked away. Lemonade, though, takes down Kamaker, and this is huge for Burrito.
Miss Fire Spit's going to keep Lemonade alive for the time being. They have the burst damage here between Bonker and Lemonade to get something done, but no one's on the payload. Bonker gets cleaned up. Unbelievable. Picks up 1 as well. We're all almost tied up here 3-2. Burrito have a long road ahead of them if they want to come back into this game. Interlopers are definitely in the driver's seat now. Cauterize 3 online for Creative to shut down a lot of what Bird is looking to do in the healing department. He's gone into deft hands. Damage dealt being led by Bonker and Lazy. So Lazy having a good game, getting a lot of poke damage off into the backline. And maybe this comes off the back of this Master Riding. His aggressive play style is able to be supplemented here. He doesn't have to give up too much if he finds a death, so he's able to kind of go in willy-nilly. And a lot of times, you know, you look at guys like Stolzy who have that aggressive hold W mentality. That's the way they want to play. They don't play their game if they're on the back foot.
And so it's important that Burrito sets the tempo right now, especially with Interlopers having set that tempo so often with Spunky on this Maeve. Taking the left side flank one more time, but now a couple of rockets go in, and the Dragon Punch is set. This could cause the Immortal. It could bait it out, and there is Theo, but he's going to go for one more. Oh, he misses on Lemonade. That is huge. And he's able to stay alive, but finally falls. Lemonade avoids death and picks up the kill in response.
Burrito are just wiping in this team fight now, and here's the thing. Theo's at full health. You know, he hits the Immortal, sure, He has 5,500 health, so you're still going to take him down to 1,500 HP. You're still going to do so much damage to this Fernando.
That's a good point.
You know, why hit nothing?
That's a good point. That's a good point because, you know, obviously you do still get a big chunk. It's going to be the most valuable damage that you can do to a teammate. But here comes the Ancient Rage, but he's not able to pick up a kill from it. Spunky goes in and finds Theo. Luckily and Lazy, if he goes down here, this could be huge for him. Creatives, the Ying, finishing off the Eevee, and now it is up to Interlopers. They could come back here, 75% and counting, and 81% moving forward, Nick. Burrito have to do something quickly. Spunky's not going to try and let him. Lemonade dives under the point. Nice pounce by Maeve. One more in the dagger into the back will help secure it. 93% on the objective, and Theo is holding strong.
He's going down. Lazy gets hooked into the ice block very early on in this fight, dumping damage into Theo. Now he's going to be cauterized as well. No healing coming through for him. Spunky finds the kill on a burn as well, and Interlopers look to close this out, sending us into a tied series here.
Wow.
That's going to be the game. Game number 4 going to Interlopers. We're all tied up here with a chance for Burrito to fall in the semifinals.
Is this a finals? Are we watching the finals right now of like the Paladins Invitational? This set is nuts. It's great. I'm so excited to see Interlopers coming forward, and I think it's really all off of this Maeve pick, Nick. We haven't seen them have this type of performance against Burrito in the past, especially last weekend when we looked at it. But this Maeve, 92,000 damage, coming in as one of the main damage dealers, but not only that, she's got the Eevee stats where she's just making people not even on this score sheet pay attention to her so much that it is changing the game against the best team in Europe.
So many eliminations, 28 and 7 for her, so participating in a lot of kills and just not a lot of eliminations on the side of Burrito. They weren't losing that hard. It's a 4-2 win for the Interlopers in the end, but Burrito were winning their fights so decisively and quickly. You know, there's not a lot of credits to be had in those team fights. They're able to keep up for the most part in the net worth department, but going the distance here is going to be this series, and I believe we'll be headed over to Frozen Guard as we head over to the map draft screen. This is where we will round things out. The bans were Ice Mines and Timbermill.
Frog Isle.
But it will be Frog Isle. I forgot Stone Keep, so now we don't have to see every map in the best of 5.
You absolutely don't. Very interesting, too. And a lot of teams favoring Stone Keep, like in Stone Keep.
This is a good Burrito map, though.
It is.
Burrito
they love this map.
They're best when they're winning fast and winning hard and not giving their team to figure them out, to you know, adjust or think through what they're looking to do. And Frog Isle is such a small map that Burrito oftentimes find themselves winning 4-0 fairly quickly here, but a lot of it comes down to the champion draft. What can Burrito secure themselves? What can Interloper secure themselves? Is this Maeve pick going to free? Can Interlopers just identify this as a free pick that Burrito don't want and take it last?
Well, that's what I want to figure out. I think the change that happened in that last game was Interlopers got Makoa. They were able to get Makoa as the first pick. That was huge, and especially on a map like Frog Isle, not having Makoa now, I think things are heavily in Burrito's favor just in terms of synergy with the champions in their roster.
Drogos comes out. Ruckus comes out immediately, so Maeve's still on the table. Interlopers might be realizing that they don't need to pick Maeve in their first picking phase. They can let it go deeper in the draft because Burrito haven't shown that they want to pick it up. Fernando, Maldaba still on the table here. Burrito have shown that they do like that, and that's going to give them a lot of point presence here to try and put this away, but it will be the Maeve selected. Lemon Maeve hopefully coming out.
You know, that's where the other thing that I had written down in my very important book of notes. It is the Maeve value. It's the flanker value. Where is she really valued? And part of this drafting phase is a guessing game. What do you wager as being important, and what do I wager as being important? And we saw in ESL, we saw Eliminate, we saw even Lazy play Maeve and have a very successful time on Frog Isle nonetheless. And so they decide, let's do a 2-for-1, let's take Maeve and let's take it away from Spunky. We already got a guy that can play it well. That was a big mistake, I think, by Interlopers letting that one go.
So still in need of a healer here as Burrito. Shaolin on the table. Ying still on the table. That would probably be their healer selection, I would imagine. What do Interlopers round this out with? Burrito, though, go in the Eevee, the double flank pressure coming out because Interlopers, frankly, don't have a lot to punish it. Cassie is probably their best option.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
And if they're both attacking her, if they take her out immediately, then these flankers are going to have free reign.
I mean, you know, this is interesting because they've got their healer. They could go for another damage dealer. Shaolin going to round things out. I think that's pretty good. I think this is going to help them when obviously the nerf to Haven and Blast Shields, Nick, it's kind of lower the TTK, which means the time to kill, if anyone's not aware of that, it means that these fights are going to go a little bit quicker towards the end of the game, and especially because teams now are getting less out of their damage reduction. It just means that some of these champions that were a little bit nerfed as a result, crippled as a result, are going to be that much stronger. Shaolin and Cassie being two of those. We saw the Bow Brothers win when they were on Burrito Esports. Now they're on Interlopers. It's time to start Game 5.
We're taking a look at the way Lemonade is looking to play this because Spunky's the only one who has been playing it so far. He's gone into this heavy sustain here. And I actually had a decent conversation with him about his play style. He doesn't like to use his dash for damage, and that's interesting to me. He told me that, but I don't see why he would take... Oh, excuse me, that's Shred. That's not... Okay, so he hasn't taken the Pounce to heal card because he doesn't like to use his dash for damage. He says he always uses it for repositioning here. He uses Prowl just to get around the map, and he's just always throwing knives, only using his Pounce to actually get out of fights.
Interesting. This is a very... We're seeing, you know, that no set way to play Maeve, and I'm sure there almost never will be. She does quite a bit of damage, though, and that repositioning looks very, very successful. You see it right there. Didn't use it for damage at all. Just throwing knives, getting 900 damage, and with Wrecker, that is going to shred through unbelievable shields. But look at that. Spunky takes Lemonade, takes the Maeve, who took Maeve from him away off the map, and Theo will help to find creative. So 1-to-1 both teams, actually. Burrito only losing their Maves, and actually Shaolin and Spunky going down. So Interlopers with the point fight for now.
Long distance, so going to pull that Ruckus downtown. He's going to backpedal his way back onto the point, but 2 picks going the way of Burrito. Unbelievable.
Oh boy.
Doesn't have any teammates to lean back on, and Interlopers, they get 54% on the point, but Burrito now in control will move north, catching up here shortly. Eliminate, trying to get in, just throwing some knives, immediately dashing out of that one. Doesn't have the 9 lives cooldown available, so can't go too hard. Looking for a pick. I
don't mind this playstyle either, Nick. It's very interesting too. I mean, we mentioned she does damage in 900 if you're hitting both.
She does a lot. I mean, look at that.
But the thing is too, it's just like staying alive. I mean, this is Eevee, right? This is Eevee, and you're just being able to be just as mobile, reposition really well, double jump, stay alive. It's very, very valuable. They find 1 kill onto her, eliminate in a bad spot, no healing. Now he's got his Prowl, though. Look at that. It's going to help him get back into this fight. Uses the Pounce for damage. You lied, Eliminate. You lied.
That's
now 90%, 97%. Overtime ticking away, but Eliminate is at full health, and he's ready to ball.
He pulls the healer, finds the pick, though, impaled into the wall. Creatives takes him down, and frankly, just misreading where he withdrawed to was a big mistake there from Lemonade. Not a lot he could do. Interlopers capture the first payload here on Frog Isle, and Burrito now with their backs against the wall.
Creatives with a big-time play there. Shaolin just ending Maeve's spree. And, you know, you can only reposition so much. There's a moment, you know, unlike Eevee, who has that blink on the 4-second cooldown, like you mentioned, the sword, the ice block. Maeve, when she runs out of 9 lives, when she runs out of that secondary Prowl and Pounce, she is kind of a sitting duck. She's fast. She can double jump, but she loses out on that mobility battle eventually against an Eevee. And they've got Eevee as well on that side. She's trying to do her damage, and Lazy comes in and finishes off Creative. Speak of the devil. So Unbelievable and Interloper is going to pull back. Minute 49 seconds still remaining on the clock.
51% already back for Ice Storm. Lemonade finding 2 in the back line here. Unbelievable's all but cleaned up. Triple kill for Lemonade here. Minute 30 on the clock. Midnight now ready to go. Ancient Rage is almost there. Ice Storm a little bit off the mark here, but Interlopers don't have the Scout or the Heat Haze available to them. So this will be kind of an awkward couple of team fights here. You know, these are big ultimates. Hexafire and Dread Serpent are hard to get charged back up in like under a minute. Whereas you look at things like Dragon Punch, Ice Storm, characters that can put out a lot of consistent damage are the ones that can get their ultimates charged back up. That's just not the case with Maldami. He has to just charge it off tanks, I feel like. He just uses the tanks as a battery, just beating them up most of the time. There's the Dread Serpent, though. Lands onto both Makoa and Fernando. The Ancient Rage just popped in response, but Bonker looking like he might get bursted through this.
Disengage has another couple of seconds before he's able to put him off the map, but he's not even going to survive to do so. Lazy and Bird combined to take down 3 on the side of Interlopers, and Theo gets himself some action to make it 4. The defense is strong with these ones. And Burrito Esports continue to stall out any attempt Interlopers have had. So Lemonade's pressure, the way he's been providing it, a little bit different than we've seen other Maves, but effective nonetheless.
Yeah, and this playstyle is going to work and it's going to work well. With an aim like Lemonade has, there comes the Dragon Punch through here. Do they go for the Immortal? Bonker was so low HP, I don't mind just going down there and not popping the Immortal to save him anyway. Creatives finds the big shot onto Lemonade. However, 15 seconds remain here. Interlopers looking to convert onto Burrito.
Lazy playing the back line so well, just distracting them, and he's taking Creative's attention. He's actually going to pop onto him as well. Creative's trying to finish off Eevee. The ice block is there again, buying so much time, but if he goes down here, he could be in trouble. Creative's on his mark, but he is going to stay alive again. And this is the power of Eevee. This is the mobility. She's healing back up with the flicker, and she is still one of the top dogs, if not the top, in the flanker role. Unbelievable, left by his lonesome, and Lazy knows he can just go and start trying to zone any other member from Interlopers. The defense is successful, and after the battle of attrition is won by Eevee, this is all tied up 1-1.
That's the difference between a good Eevee and a great Eevee. A good Eevee stays alive in that situation. A great Eevee, like Lazy, stays alive and is hitting shots every time she's blinking in. She's finding a poke over 1,000 damage onto someone, keeping Creatives distracted. So Creative is not finding damage onto Lazy. Lazy's blinking in, keeping him distracted and finding damage. So much value here in this pickup for Burrito. This is one of the premier Eevees, best in the world. Shout outs to Lazy. He's having a great game right now.
And it's so important too that they're bringing a double dose of damage and distraction with Maeve and Eevee. This is a combo that, you know, works well. We've heard rumors that even Skye and Eevee, with Skye and Maeve, along with Torvald, can be incredible. But Eevee and Maeve looking to be so distracting together and so much damage as well. Unbelievable. Just has nowhere to go.
Oh,
but look at Can't Creatives is on point, just stunning these flankers on this left-hand wall, and it is being so effective for Interlopers.
So much punish potential there. Nice Maldombas, and that really is going to start to turn the fight in Interlopers' favor. Theo goes down as well. Creatives is taken out here. Spunky dashed. Oh no, Lemonade. He dashed into the Dread Serpent there. A little bit of a misplay on his end. Tried to go in and finish off the kill onto Spunky. Makoa is now returning to the fight. This is a clutch shot. It's going to have to back off. No shell shield available to him, and he's going to have to eat the fire spit and take a spill.
Lazy's so close to getting that mid-air control. Ice block is available. He's just going to try and out-dodge it. And Spunky will not find a kill onto anyone. Bird will actually clean him up so much. You mentioned that Dragon Punch, when you use it, puts you so vulnerable at the very end of it.
The Hexafire is waiting Theo when he arrives to the point. Cleans him up immediately. Bonker gets on to try and start the overtime. Lemonade and Spunky have to go big in this team fight. They have to find every kill. There's 2 so far. Skillganon finds a return kill. He's low HP, misses the shot, but Bird is there to clean him up.
Oh my God.
There from Spunky. He finds the wormhole option, but Theo is now back. The dot might be enough to pick up Shaolin. The fireball, if it comes off cooldown, could be good here. Picks up Creative and shield comes up. Wow. Bonker is here as well. It's going to buy a decent amount of time, but Theo is falling lower and lower. One slip up here from Burrito, and Interlopers are going to take this payload.
Great shield though. Bought a lot of time, but Kampiker's still alive. Lemonade actually finishes it up, and Interlopers get one more objective over Burrito. Interlopers absolutely keeping pace with the champions of the Paladins Invitational, the best in the world, the best in Europe. Interlopers are putting on a show right now, and again, find themselves in the driver's seat of this game. Nick, I want to mention out to Creatives in that last fight, some incredible withdraws to get himself a continued lifespan against that fight, and he allowed so much damage to come from him to really help take down those tanks before his teammates were able to follow him up.
Absolutely. Midnight ready to go here. Could be popped. Bird finds the pick up onto Creatives. 9 lives popped just to keep himself healthy here. Lemonade starting to feel the heat.
I mean, he's the difference. He's the difference for me right now, because the impales you're seeing onto Eevee, onto Maeve, that's securing their deaths. They don't have these huge health pools. They're 1,800 base, 1,900 if you pick up cards, or, you know, 2,000 at the best for Maeve. And she is going to be able to 2-shot that, and anyone else adding onto that, it's going to mean that they go down in the blink of an eye. So Creatives has to continue playing the way he has. Great fire spin, almost knocked him off the wall. Salvo reintroduced into Paladins has been a very key component of Drogos today.
Definitely triple damage on the shields for every one of those salvo rockets. Long distance Dread Serpent's going to land on the Theo. Charge immediately into the backline. Doesn't have the shield cooldown available for 1 second, but is able to get around the corner. Spunky picks up Bonker with the Dragon Punch, but Lemonade is able to follow up a nice stun. Thread the needle there on to Theo, taking him down. Unbelievable, popping the Hexafire on the point. Lemonade gets blasted, 14 HP, not even close, baby. Nice withdraw as well, and Lazy goes down as well because Kamiker is here. So Creative getting the better of the flankers on Burrito this time around.
Creative's withdrawals right now are so on point. He is able to just showcase the power of Shaolin on this map. Frog Isle was a map that the sub on Burrito, now a starter, Bonker, made his name in the finals, giving them such a great performance and winning HRX in January. And now it seems like Creatives has his turn to be able to survive. But this onslaught is definitely too much for Shaolin. But will they lose Makoa in response? They do. Bonker goes down, and now the cleanup crew is here. But will it be a little bit too late?
Now Bird picks up onto Kamiker. Theo with the shield is going to be able to sustain out. Respawn proximity heavily in favor of Burrito. Easily going to go their way. And Lemonade now dashing for damage a couple of times here. He's out for blood.
He's a liar.
He's had enough.
He's a fat liar.
He just knows he had to listen to me. I said, look, dog,
P-H-A-T.
600 unavoidable damage is nothing to snuff at.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta take notes. Lemonade giving a different approach to Maeve. That's the benefit of these champions. Nick, break down the items. Where are they at right now with 26 seconds going into the next round?
Cauterized threes online is the big thing here for Interlopers. Kamiker's got it. Unbelievable's got it. They're just ahead in credits right now because they're the ones capturing the payloads. It's tied up, but that's the advantage you get when you're winning the capture points, is that net worth advantage. Burrito don't have any cauterized threes to their name. Spunky already having Haven 3 online. Skillganon having Haven 3 online as well with a kill to heal. Cheeky little pickup there. 300 burst healing on an elimination or a kill. But he's likely to be cauterized in a lot of situations.
It's really interesting, too. Here comes the Maeve ultimate, and now Evie able to capitalize off of this. So good for her, but she gets poked out immediately, even in the midnight. But there, the Cassie reveal is able to be popped as well in counter. So they had vision on where that Evie was blinking, too. Moldava trying to keep his teammates alive, but ow, there's a big old shot from Skillganon to Lazy, and Lazy on the Kamiker in response. In the air goes Lemonade, hits the pound. He's dashing for damage, and he's slithering to save his life. Creatives gets a kill on the Bonker, though, and Lemonade, it's all up to him and Theo right now to finish this team fight.
Dash for damage, win team fight. Easy game here. Cleaning up unbelievable as well. 3 dashes for damage in one team fight. Attaboy Lemonade coming around.
He is coming around. 36% and counting for Burrito Esports. They've got some time, though, Interlopers, but it is a bit dismaying for them to have won 2 in a row and now almost at the precipice of being able to win this game with a final push, looking to be at a disadvantage. Here's the Dragon Punch, though, looking to find one. Is he going to find it? No, there's the Immortal comes out from Fernando. A great hook by Bonker is going to put Spunky into the dirt, but it's going to open up the advantage for Interlopers to be on this point. Here's a Hexafire looking to burn down the shield, and there's Bonker just going with the great hook to try and finish off Unbelievable, but it's a big task, one that I'm not sure Burrito are up for.
Nice dodge roll there, but Kamiker gets taken out by Lemonade here. And just straight up winning the team fight is Burrito. You know, just duking it out, coming out on top. Birds, Ying, you can't sleep on his damage. His tracking is impeccable, and he's going to be contributing to a lot of this. It's just damage you're not expecting. Able to get there. Dread Serpent comes down, so Interlopers are going for this. They want to find it, but they're in a rough spot here, just trickling in.
That is so huge. Dread Serpent comes out, Creatives again, but Theo and Lazy pick up so many kills. It's going to be almost impossible for them to survive this round, and despite a great effort with so many ultimates and a great kill from Shaolin, Burrito Esports, the #1 team in Europe so far, will take the advantage in this potentially final round of this game.
Big pop shot on a Kamiker as well. He is going to be susceptible here. Lazy blinking in, trying to finish it up. Midnight is popped again. Big shot on a Kamiker as he's hooked in. Lemonade easily able to clean that one up with the pounce. Impaled into the wall again. Creative having his way with Maeve.
Unbelievable, but there's still an Eevee around, and that is the problem. Usually you just have to deal with the Eevee. Lazy hitting these mid-air shots. God-like from Lazy. He wants to find some more, and Theo Bird. And Theo again, clean things up. Lazy with the Ice Storm has the ability to zone off one corridor. Will he blink and use it right here? He doesn't see too many groups of people clumped up yet. They've got plenty of time, Nick. Still a minute and 35.
Absolutely. Payload is rounding the final corner here. Unbelievable off the mark. But he does it accelerate back into it. It looks like maybe got hooked back in there. Theo is ready to go. Has the shield cooldown available to him. Taking a lot of damage from Ruckus. Going to have to just pop that one up. Trying to draw some fire away from his teammates, but Interloper's doing a good job just ignoring. There's a Hexafire, but shut down almost immediately. Bird again coming through with some clutch damage on Ying.
Dread Serpent gives them a bit of time, but will still get in. And will Spunky be able to stall Theo? Bird has been alive this whole time. No one has even shot at him. Bird still alive. Dimensional link around it all. Kamiker finally picks up Theo and Bird, but he was just keeping Theo clean and nice and healthy in that fight. And it looks like Kamiker with a great blast shot will actually secure the kill onto Lazy as well. So Kamiker really changing the tide of this fight, giving Interlopers at least another chance to defend and get their ultimates charged for the last round.
44 seconds here, and this is going to be a very, very difficult team fight for both Interlopers and Burrito.
Yeah.
Do Burrito pop ultimates to try and punch this one through, given how close it is, or do they take it to the 3-3 scenario here? Dragon Punch is going to be the ultimate that likely blows this team fight open. We'll see how Burrito likes to respond with only 20 seconds on the clock.
Great fire spit as well. This is doing so much damage to them. Almost pulls them off. Bonker actually off the mark, but Lemonade follows along with the help of Theo to finish it. But look at this, unbelievable! Just having his way with anyone there. He doesn't finish off the Maeve, but he will finish off the Fernando. Taking down the Ying clone is a smart move by Unbelievable. No more healing. Bird left on his own.
Dang,
and this is coming down to game 5, round 4. And a 3-3 game. Unbelievable by all these teams.
So Burrito don't get Interlopers to spend a lot there. They don't get the Dragon Punch out, but likewise, Interlopers didn't get any ultimates out of Burrito. Not a lot on the table right now. Everything's like hovering around that 70, high 60 point. So whoever's finding the shots first is going to snowball this team fight out of control. Whoever gets their ultimate off, and it's so funny. Dragon Punch and Immortal here are the ones that are available. So that will probably come out dead even here. Both teams know how to play around it, unless Spunky is able to find Lemonade or Lazy outside of the range of the Immortal. But both of those heroes, those champions are so mobile, it's going to be difficult.
They're going straight to the point, but watch out for Unbelievable. There's the hook. That's exactly what they wanted to do. But the advances are saved up. He starts out the round with 2, so he's in a good spot, but they want to follow up on this. They know they need to kill the Ruckus. Great target prioritization by Burrito, showing the class and the experience of this squad. 21% on the point for them, and Interlopers now without a tank have to hold out for this moment. Here's Lemonade coming in. He gets stunned again. Will he die? Creatives shutting down Lemonade with 45% on the clock.
He dashed into a Maldamba stun there and was punished hard for it. Immortal is available here. Dragon Punch still online. Big fireball into the back line, but Theo is not very healthy right now. Those Ying clones are going to do their best to get them healed up. Both of the tanks from Burrito are just backing up and healing.
Nice shield staggering as well by the side of Bonker and Theo, and it leaves all of the 5 members of Burrito still alive. Kamiker just naturally backing up, doesn't want to deal with anything. Here comes the Dragon Punch as well. The Immortal, it is still available. He's going to have to use it right now. Skillgain going to get a kill on Eliminate with the Dread Serpent. Unbelievable still alive. The Winter Witch's ultimate comes out, but Creatives gets a long-range shot on the Bird. Creatives doesn't have Planet. He's just got his shots, but it looks like Interlopers have the advantage. 96%, 99% Interlopers move on to the finals over Burrito Esports.
They lost.
Oh my God.
In the semis, no less. Interlopers
oh my
here
God.
With their star-studded lineup. Spunky.
I need a drink.
I don't know what to say. Let's head to the score screen here and see if we can piece this together. This Burrito loss is something that just doesn't sound right coming off the tongue. It's something I haven't said in a long time. 3 members breaking the 100K mark for Burrito. Spunky, 127,000 on the Drogos. Creatives, 111K. Unbelievable gets 103K to his name. Just so much damage from all of these members, and Bonker, frankly, a little bit low there, sitting at only 45,000 on his Makoa.
Dude, Creatives, man. Creatives was the guy for me this game. I mean, he absolutely shut down Lemonade, and Lemonade played fantastically. I like his style as well. But those impales, those stuns, it was almost like, you know, it really is for Maeve. You talk about some of the counters to Maeve. You know, I think Skillgain with the Maldamba, obviously the Shaolin coming out. I think Shaolin's a very strong counter because of that stun. But, you know, Maldamba as a support, a great additional stun on the battlefield Maeve has to deal with. We don't see this in EU, but in NA, Torvald, incredible counter to Maeve because of the Runic Blast. The silence leaves her without the ability to dash whenever she gets to that opponent. Also, you can shield the person that she's going to duel with, especially if she's on the opposite team. So there's a lot of counters to her, super strong, and Interlopers just took advantage of that in those last fights.
Yeah, she got countered out fairly heavily. You know, there was a couple of situations. The dash into the Dread Serpent was a big kind of misstep. She got punished. Impale, you know, nothing you can do about it. Creative's just hitting that, but she dashed into a Maldamba stun once. That was unfortunate. Got cleaned up off the back of that. And just a lot of unfortunate crowd controls. Maeve getting shut down in a big way there. Not feeling the love.
No, they're not feeling the love. You know, they were shut down. Their advances were not appreciated and reciprocated. But you know what? Your advances don't have to be. You can have some love this Valentine's Day, especially if you get the Valentine's Day chest. Get yourself some pip goggles, some Grover rosebuds, so you can just go into the realm with your girl you've been, you know, chatting with online and just hook her up. Just so, hey, I'm the kind of man that you want. I get roses on my characters for Valentine's Day for you. And of course, there's some sprays, there's some unicorn mounts, there's all that kind of good stuff. Man, it feels like the day just started, Nick. In fact, it did. That was the first set, if you can believe it.
That was a long set.
And it was Burrito falling. The #1 team in Europe, the #1 team, obviously, at the Paladins Invitational, with such amazing players and a slightly new roster, fall to a new team, Interlopers, and they will be in the finals against either District 69 or
Skitlight.
Skitlight, that's right, Skitlight. Don't go anywhere.
That's right.
Skitlight, that's right. Gonna be right back after this break. We'll see you in just a sec. Holy moly.
Damn, dog. Holy moly.
Damn, dog. That was a crazy match.
It absolutely was.
That was a crazy set. Nick and I couldn't even believe it. I'm Randis, High-Risk Pretty Hair. Incredible to see D60 Burrito fall to Interlopers, newly formed squad, and them also just have so much success. Congratulations to them getting to the finals after, you know, a really good week last week. Make it even better. That's got to feel great as a squad, especially Spunky.
Spunky
the story
beating
there,
Burrito.
You know,
we got Smidgen and NA beating his old teammates.
I mean, this is like. This is crazy, man. The revenge kills right now coming out, just giving them that extra stamina in this game. And you know what's interesting, Nick? You know when you need that extra stamina most? You know when you really need to get the revenge kills and really make sure you're getting any kills at all? It's in the new PvE mode. Los Pollos Fernandos. Nick, you should know all about this.
It's tough. I get frustrated. It's just a bunch of Fernandos with their 5,000 damage fireballs one-shotting me, and I get pissed. I don't think I've won this once yet, actually. I haven't figured this one out.
Not the face!
But there is a weekly quest. There's an incentive to do this. I think if you win this 5 times, there's the weekly quest for 50 crystals actually on the line. So make sure you get that done before the week's over.
50 crystals? That's like a flare chest, dude.
That is.
That's an MVP
that's a free
pose.
emote.
That's a moat.
That's a free moat.
I'm all about it. Let's go to the maps. We got games coming up, people. It's D69 versus Skit Light. They're going to be trying to skip lightly to the finals, and they got a big opponent ahead of them. D69 now with no Burrito in their way could seemingly have a finals victory for once in a while on the online stages. Burrito been dominating that lately. Timbermill and Ice Mines taking off the board again.
Yep, Prague going to be the first map played here in this series. We're ready for the champion draft. Go ahead and get you guys straight on into it. This was the map we just saw played. For those of you that may just be joining us here, District 69 with the first pick. Probably going to go for Makoa, but it's going to be interesting. We get to kind of see how Maeve works into this draft overall. I think she was picked in every game, maybe except one.
I think she was in every game.
Was she in every game?
I think she was in every game.
So Maeve coming in, taking the draft by storm. Yeah,
pretty impressive stuff. Actually, you know what? She might not have been in that one game on Stone Keep. Maybe. No, she was. She was there. Yeah, she was there.
Or was she not?
I feel like you're right. I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
Chat will let us know.
Yeah, chat will let us know if that was the case. I think she might have been picked up in all of them, though. Skit Light with Fernando and Shaolin on the board as their selections. D69 take Makoa and follow up with now 2 picks of their own. They're getting the frontliner that's been the premier frontliner for a long time right now in Paladins. And I think that's changed a lot of the dynamic between Burrito. And you see Drogos there rounding out the spot. But who's next, Nick?
It could be the Ruckus. It could be Maldamba. It's going to be Maldamba here. And so Drogos snagging this early puts Skitlight in a position where if they take the double frontliner, they're going to be more susceptible to this drag. And Spunky just doing so much damage to Burrito's double frontline composition in the previous game. You know, Burrito got Fernando Makoa and still lost. That's pretty crazy to me.
I mean, it just goes to show having the Maldamba away from the Fernando and Makoa, though, really hurt them quite a bit. Even though Bird played absolutely phenomenally on the Ying, just having that Dread Serpent combination and having the Shaolin as well, just to take care of the 2 flanks that they had very quickly. That was also what I think determined that quite a bit. D69, though, going with Maeve at the very end. Really well-rounded roster here. Oh, man, I could see Perdot on this Maeve, man.
I could as well. I mean, Bugsy, I would be hard-pressed.
Oh, Bugsy could totally be on this as well. I've heard things.
But then who plays Drogos? I mean, Bugsy is Drogos.
Oh, man, Bugsy is Drogos. You're right. You're right, man.
This is going to be a cool question to be answered here. Where does Perdot and Shipa fill in here? Because I know, Vox was telling us that Bugsy's Drogo or Bugsy's Maeve
was unbelievable.
Is very good already. So it'll be interesting to see where it ends up, and it will be Perdot on the Maeve today, running Shred 3, Street Cred 3, and Savagery. So looking for that. Kind of the same deal for most of the Maves. The big difference is what level of Walk It Off, if at all, do you run Walk It Off?
Yeah. That's the big, and street cred as well. Like, what level of street cred do you want? We saw, Monkey ran street cred 2, 4, I believe, and then you see, Lazy running 2. You see here Perdot running 3, Shred 3 as well. He's gonna get the cooldown on the pounce, but really wanting the heals off of Pounce, so not looking to lie like Lemonade says he doesn't use the Pounce for damage and then use it. He's actually looking to use it from the very beginning and get the healing off of that. 280 each successful hit, and you can basically get those 2 in a row if you reactivate 9 lives on Maeve.
We'll have to see. Not finding any marks just yet. Just look for that long-range poke. You know, Maeve doesn't have any fall-off damage. Pounce to reposition here, but Maeve cannot box with Fernando, taking a lot of damage as the shield already. Pounce could go through here, and it will be. She'll actually take him out with the knives. Didn't even need to use the Pounce. Now into the back line. Gonna easily be able to clean that one up. A nice Pounce into Waters. Put the double jump back onto the map. Able to trade out still, though. Bugsy cleaning the rest of this fight up. Double kill for him. Landing rockets onto Maki. The back line. Bugsy's Drogos is nuts.
Waters in second just paid so much attention, with the point being 1-0 D69 advantage of Skit Light now. He attracted so much attention, Perdo's Maeve, and then what ended up happening was they didn't deal with Bugsy. I mean, Shaolin is there to not deal with Maeve. He wants to deal with the aerial threats. He's got essentially the sniper-like accuracy and damage to be able to get Drogos out of the air, but Bugsy was just free flying right there, and especially with the Cassie going down, it was not a good look for them.
Salvo comes out just to put some feelers out. Does get the detection hit there, so he knows he's still back there. Long-range fire spit, pinpoint accurate as always. And that right there, that mid-flight fire spit is so difficult to do, to hold your flight perfectly still, land those, and that is what this Masterclass Drogos player brings to the table here. The salvo just to clean up Fernando, and the big change to salvo there, making those explosions about the size of explosive flasks. A lot easier to hit, a lot easier to confirm that roughly 1,800 damage if you hit every rocket.
And you know, Bugsy's just one of the biggest proponents of changing salvo for a long time. You know, one of the best parts about this esport, these players are very active. They're very, you know, they communicate with us. They communicate with the design team, what they think could improve certain champions and what they think is weak. Bugsy, a big point for him was fix Drogos' salvos. The designers made some changes to that. Nick, maybe walk us through those changes and why, you know, we're seeing salvo so used right now.
Because it's so useful for killing shields. It always has been, but it oftentimes wasn't worth enough because it's one of the longest cooldowns in the game, and it wasn't particularly easy to hit. It still had the same kind of fall off that the other, like his left click had, basically. So it just wasn't worth using as opposed to the left click. And now, you know, it does triple damage to shield, so it's always been good at that. But what they did is made it come out quicker, so you get all the 6 rockets out quicker, so you don't have to be as exposed to launch it. And they made the explosion radius bigger, so not only you can use it to find some damage, but it's so easy to just launch that into a point fight and find a ton of poke.
My God, Sheepa and Perdo get absolutely wrecked here by Second and Sorsa. Skitlight coming back with some vengeance of their own, and oh God, Jarrett is in trouble himself. He does get a heal on the Bugsy. Will this Dragon be able to finish it off? That's one. But he's got 4 more to deal with. Or is he just going to fly back, wait for his team? There's Shaolin with the mid-air impale.
To safety.
Exactly what he's meant to do, though. That's exactly what Shaolin needs to be doing. Keeping Bugsy out of the air. 74% now. This could be a dead Bugsy. If they're smart, they're going to try and kill him. He does, though, get the kill on the West 2 and stay alive here. This is bad news bears for Skitlight.
81% on the point for them, though. District 69 lead 2-0. They were able to cap and convert in the first round very quickly. There's a big impale off the back of the Heat Haze. Perdo gets shut down. Bugsy has no idea where this Shaolin is. The Heat Haze coming in big. That's 2 kills off the back of that. Here comes the Planet, finding a lot of damage, but hooked out almost immediately into the Dread Serpent. Goes Waters. He's going to be cleaned up by Sheepa. District 69 are clawing their way back.
Great target prioritization and focus there as well. Shifting the attention onto Waters. That masterclass Shaolin. You better watch out for him. Don't let him get back in this fight. His respawn just happened, but 99% on the objective, and a great Immortal to stall out a few things. But will Fernando fall? West 2 does go down to Bugsy, and now it is all D69 unless Sorsa can make a big kill, and that big kill is made. Bugsy goes down.
But District 69 still with the numbers advantage in a big way. 3 for 1 is not the trade Skitlight we're looking for. Perdo gets taken out here, and the respawn's coming through for Skitlight. They have a great chance here to take this one back. 99 to 99, but the hook from Elvin Path stalls out the Fernando long enough, and District 69 go up 3-0.
It really looked like they had a chance there, Nick, but just Elvin Path with the quick reactions, the awareness, turns his body around, hooks Fernando away. You know, Fernando able to really position himself correctly there, might have been able to keep the shield up, stop from being hooked, but Elvin Path, despite that, he positioned himself behind and just was able to take advantage of that open backside of Fernando's and just pull him away. 2 minutes now on the objective. 3-0 for D69. Skitlight need to hold here.
2 minutes remain. Erdo throwing down some poke. A lot of damage coming back, though, from Shaolin, from Cassie. Garo trying to get in, heal Bugsy. Actually gets knocked off the map by Second. Second finding 2 kills before trading out with Sheepa.
Great stuff by Sheepa here on the payload card. This is just riding dirty as the turret. He's going to go ahead and activate Repulsor Field to help Bugsy, but he cannot save his life. He takes a spot by Shaolin. Waters is there, and Waters is actually no more. Makes Sheepa going along with him. So 2 members back to base. District 69 now forced to regroup. They're going to save some time, Nick, and just not attempt to try this and just not get poked out. They're just going to wait till they're a 5-man again.
Dragon Punch is ready. Midnight is ready, so District 69 could use this here to punch this through. You know, given how far ahead they are on their ultimate charges right now, I see District 69 going for the 4-0 sweep right now. Midnight in combination with the Dragon Punch Makoa's Ancient Rage is ready to go. Dread Serpent just got topped off, and a 2-for-1 is a great way to start this team fight.
From downtown, Elven Path with these hooks, and great shot by Sorsa. Is he gonna find it again? Almost gets the kill on Tamal Damba, but he's not able to pick off Jera, unfortunately, and that will mean that D69 get a very clean victory going into game 2. So much easier than Burrito had of a time dealing with their rounds. In fact, Burrito right now, we're looking at a 1-0 loss right in the face. Yeah. So D69 really looking to take advantage of this moment where Burrito are finally knocked out. Could be their finals.
Coming out swinging is Perdo on the Mave for 31,000 damage. Bugsy, however, going to be leading this game at 42,000. The Drogos, the Fire Spits are always on point. The Rockets are often on point as well. Just a little bit more control around the point, I feel, with Elven Path being able to do what he does best, play that aggro tank style, and Sheepa holding down the point. Just keeping District 69 ahead, giving every inch that they can.
We have I think, Sorsa, Second, Waters, Maki, and West 2 getting a little bit too late to these fights, the crucial aspects of the fights. You know, they're getting these clutch pickups on Perdo, on Bugsy, but they're happening just a little too late than when they really want to. Maybe when West 2's forced to already immortal and he doesn't have much health left. You know, if they can start off these fights with these clutch picks, they're going to be in such a better situation. But we kind of saw them win that fight after D69 already had 30 or 40% on the objective. That was, I think, what was holding them back in this round. But we will be ready for the map screen in just a second to be able to see where they'll take game 2 and what type of champion differences, what type of map differences or strategy differences they'll be able to bring into this one.
Serpent Beach will be the map, and you know, District 69, I just liked their team fight better in terms of their ultimates. They have every ultimate there can win a team fight. Midnight is so good. Dragon Punch, you got Ancient Rage, you got Hexafire, you got Dread Serpent. All of those are heavy hitting, whereas, you know, you look at Scout, you look at Illusory Rift, Ice Storm, Immortal, you look at
that's
Heat
a lot.
Haze. I mean, none of those kill anyone. No. Right? It's all just like set up defensive utility stuff. Whereas like when you're ahead as District 69 with those heavy hitting ultimates, it's going to be that much harder to come back. On top of being on Frog Isle, you're going to get snowballed out of control every single game.
Very, very interesting too. You know, you look at some of these champions as we head into the champion draft. You mentioned a great word, utility. You know, I feel like almost every ultimate could have a class of its own, right? Damage, utility, I mean, healing, right? I mean, you could go into these rounds almost where the cards are, right? You know, defensive, right? Yeah. You know, Fernando. And I think that's really interesting to look at because you don't even look at the championship draft. You look at when you look at the ultimate battle, how do those ultimates align? You know, they did have a little bit too much, I think, of defensive utility there and not enough damage to be able to really go ahead and impact those big fights when it came down to the wire. But here are the picks already. Makoa, first pick for Skitlight now. District 69 will settle with Drogos and Fernando.
So Skitlight, and this great start to a draft from District 69, getting the Drogos. So if Skitlight go to the double frontliner, it'll be, you know, dealt with. Bugsy's expert at dealing with that. It will be the Bow twins there, Shaolin and Cassie, leaving up Maldamba, leaving up Maeve, leaving up Ruckus. So District 69, frankly, have their pick of the litter.
Well, this is a good pick, remember, because of the Cassie being able to counter Maeve's ultimate. They're kind of opting, they're saying, okay, go ahead, pick it. That ult is going to be so much less effective on your team now than if it's on our team. Now, doubtful Skitlight will grab Maeve here, but they don't have a flanker. They have an opportunity to grab a healer and Maeve if they want to. Just depends if they're going to go that route. Pretty aggressive in my eyes if they would.
Ying still on the table as well. So that will likely be their healer, and Drox is locked in. That's going to be their choice of flanker, given their pick of the litter here. So they had the Eevee, they had the Maeve, they had the Sky, and they go to the Androx.
They had the buck. They could have bucked, man.
They could have.
They should be bucking. They're bucking up.
Bucking up out here. Maybe they
and they give the Maeve.
And there's the Maeve.
I think maybe they wanted to leave the Maeve on the table.
Yeah.
Because they take the Cassie for that.
Scout countering Midnight, it's not like, all right, Maeve's useless now. Right?
No, she's not useless. No, you're right.
It's a nice counter. It's a nice touch. It's a nice thing. But honestly, I feel like Maeve has been getting her ultimate charged up quicker than Cass. It's almost like Dragon Punch and Immortal, right?
Yeah.
You know, one counters the other, but Dragon Punch coming up so much more often than Immortal.
Yeah.
And even still, you know, if you Dragon Punch a full health Fernando, it still does a ton of, it still does like 4,000 damage.
Perdo's actual loadout seems to have, did it change? I had a feeling he was only running Street Cred 2 here. Now I'm seeing Street Cred.
That's
No,
the same.
he has Street Cred 3. So still going with the same loadout. Interesting to see what is Bugsy's loadout here, if we can hover over that. Because of the changes of salvo, there are a couple cards that allow you to salvo a little more often. Wondering if he's grabbed that.
Salvo cooldown, 1 second
He's got
reduced for
Spitfire
every player hit, so he can get a maximum of 6 seconds off of the cooldown of his salvo here if he hits all the rockets, and it's not that difficult to do. But going for that Thrill of the Hunt 4, so anytime he gets a killing blow onto someone, he's going to get that free thrust.
Really putting a lot of points into that as well, prioritizing getting those kills. I mean, Bugsy must feel confident that his Drogos is pretty good or something. I don't know. We'll see. First blood goes the way to Waters, though. So D69 is going to have to be careful here, despite how good we all know Bugsy's Drogos is. Fire Spit hits 4. So much damage. Misses on the other one, though. But these rockets are so deadly. And here comes the salvo. It's ready if he wants to use it, and that thrust is already available for him to be used. There it is, the reset. Oh boy, Bugsy's just a monster on this Drogos.
God, I wish I could play this character like that. Fire spits time and time again, direct impacts on long distance targets. I mean, it's just so difficult to deal with. This character does so much damage if you're connecting on everything. And it's like the Bomb King. These blasters are incredibly dangerous in a vacuum when you're hitting your shots. And Bugsy is just leaving us all breathless.
I mean, imagine if he was so fast you couldn't hit him. I mean, that would be
rough.
That would be rough. I hope that, you know, is not what he. I'm glad he got the booster reduction, because this is already so strong here. He is at a point in his career. Bugsy feels confident on a lot of different champions, but Drogos has been the one that has always been a mainstay for him and the Paladins. And here comes the curse of the commentator. One midair shot on an Androxus, though. Seems like Second is the one running away.
Later, dude.
And boy, oh boy, his Drogos is so good. Not even the curse of the commentator can stop his killing spree here.
Not even the curse of the commentator. Not even the worst matchup in the game. Androxus is the best character to deal with Drogos, but not when he's landing direct impacts like this. Dragon Punch ready to go. Feels like it has been for a while now, far and away ahead of a lot of other ultimates in the game. 1:22 still on the payload push here. About 65–70% of the way through is District 69. Waters poked out for the time being. Second pressuring Bugsy now, starting to get a couple of pop shots with so much healing from this Maldamba. He's ready to go once again.
Got to say that there's been an incredibly good performance on the side of Perdo, keeping all of the teammates on Skit Light, you know, Waters in second, just not focused onto Bugsy, which has been giving Drogos so much room to be in the air and affect this fight from both mid, long, and short range without much contest. That is really, I think, one of the goals Shaolin brings to this roster, and he's not able to do it because Perdo's just running at him so often.
36 seconds remain here for D69. Have a lot of ultimates up, but so do Skitlight here. 23% on the Illusory Rift. I guess she popped that. I doubt that's because she's not getting enough ultimate charge here. Midnight is going to be popped here. District 69 looking to go in, finding the angles here. Immediate dash into the reset there. Elven Path finds the first kill on Mackie, hooked out of the sky, but able to trade out. Is paired out before going down. Jera and Bugsy now rotating into the fight. Dread Serpent is available here. The full wipe from Skitlight here. Looks like it will be conversion for D69 in round number 1.
Still no points dropped for D69, and it is you know, going to be a tough battle up now, Skitlight, on this map. Serpent Beach not looking to be any different than what happened on Frog Isle. They've got to change something, Nick. They've got to adjust their play style. They've got 3 ultimates on the board here. That could make a difference.
It's Bugsy's having one of those games right now, I feel, where it's almost like, you know, when LeBron or Curry's having one of those games, you just can't do a lot to stop it.
Yeah.
It's got to be on the back of second right now. We saw this last weekend, too, when Bugsy had Kinessa and there was no answer to him. There was destroy. There was no hope for his opponents, and it's kind of the same thing that's happening right now. And with all their ultimates on the board, except the Midnight, Perdo gets that charged up extremely quickly. I don't see District 69 losing this fight.
Elvin Path misses the hook, though. It's a good start for them, so they'll have at least 18% without getting somebody fed to the dogs by Makoa. And he looks like he's swung the Ancient Rage axe already. Here's the Dragon Punch, looking to finish off the Fernando. And Bugsy will actually take down second in his place. West 2 goes down thanks to Sheepa, and a great stun, but it will not last for long onto Bugsy. So he will stay alive, and it will be all D69 here. 87%, and not one percentage from Skitlight. Not one toe stepped onto the objective.
And shout-outs to Jera there for not only landing the Mending Spirits onto Bugsy as he's thrusting, but then continues to rotate into the fight to body block if need be. The need didn't arise, but Jera was there, and those are the tiny little things you can do as a support player to really sway the difference in your fight. Double kill for Perdo, 2v1 in the back line, and this is the momentum that District 69 are looking for. You can see Elvin Path rotating around this fight, looking to get in, cleaning up on the retreating Sorsa, and the snowball is starting to look real here. Already halfway through the payload push with 2 minutes remaining here. Big fire spit potential could come out, but hooked. Can't get the follow-up rocket. Finally taken out as Bugsy.
That is exactly what they needed there. That's what they need to find on the back of West 2's support. But they haven't been able to do that lately. He's been missing a lot of those, and Jera as well as Sheepa have just been able to keep themselves alive and stay effective in these fights much longer than Skitlight would have liked. There is the Immortal coming out from Fernando. D69 trying to make sure that everyone stays alive to defend here. Bugsy comes in. Sorsa goes down as a response. Sheepa, 81 health, has to pull back and advance away, and he will stay alive. But Bugsy over here just doing work, landing all these rockets, the fire spit, and hitting 3 there. Jeez. 2 of them being a Yin clone, actually. 1 in mid-air onto Sorsa. Nick, stand up. It's not gonna be. Oh, it's gonna be okay, buddy. There's Bugsy. He gets taken down. The fire spit. This is a highlight reel if I've ever seen one. Holy moly.
I mean,
damn, dog.
It's just one of the, whoa. It's just, there's a salvo to shut down. That's just one of those days. That is just one of those days, one of those games. Nothing you can do if you're Skitlight in that situation. Nothing. There's nothing you can do. Triple fire spit, 2 directs onto Androxus. Dragon punch. Salvo shuts down the accursed arm off the respawn. 2 directs into Shaolin while he's implanted. I mean, God bless.
This week on Nick's pick,
featuring Bugsy slaughtering everyone by himself.
Oh my God, dude.
I guess, you know, it's funny too, because Bugsy was like, this character's dead, you guys killed him. And then he does that.
This is what he wanted to do.
19-2.
I mean, we gave him Salvo back, and then this is what he does to us. This is what he does to Skitlight.
Give an inch takes a mile there.
It's like, give a guy, you know, I'm sorry. I was watching too many other horror games, man. I can't make that kind of a reference. That was a little dark, actually, a little morbid. We're going to move on. Fantastic stats by all of these teams, though. But it is time to get back into the action. Jaguar Falls. Jaguar Falls will be where we play this next game. Nick, and what do you think about Jaguar Falls here for Bugsy and his squad? D69 looking very strong right now.
I mean, Drogos is a phenomenal pick on a lot of maps here, but especially so here on Jaguar Falls. Fire spit pressures. It is a dominant force.
Absolutely. Especially when you have the player of a caliber like Bugsy being able to just come through and nail those mid-air fire spits. We're ready for the champion draft here. It's time to get going on Jaguar.
Thanks to GGJ and Vox for joining us there to cast that.
It was great that they were able to just step in for like a couple seconds and just be, thank you guys.
And now they're gone.
I know that was hard, but thank you.
They're quick.
They are quick.
Makoa selected here, first pick for D69. I don't see that changing for some time here, but you never know what could come up in the next patch. Fernando will be the response alongside Drogos. Gotta get that away from Bugsy.
Jeez,
gotta get that away.
Holy moly, damn dog. That is just too much for Skitlight to handle. They say, we will take that, sir. This time I will have Drogos. I have never played him, and I will take him because I cannot let you be having this dragon on your squad. Shaolin Maldaba selected on D69 now, and that's a really good pairing, not only of damage, but of healing, and they've got a great frontliner here. D69's draft, very strong right now. Let's see what Skitlight can do to respond.
Another thing that District 69, we're open to seeing maybe Bugsy play Maeve this time around. That could be a possibility that comes through as they've locked in their damage, their healer, and their tank. So still a need of a flanker, but Skitlight going to get the Maeve. So the Ruckus, I definitely think, is going to come out at this point.
Yeah.
And Drox is still on the table. That is definitely a good pick. We saw Lemonade have a phenomenal game on Jaguar Falls with Androxus, and one of the best in the world at doing it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see, but it will be the Buck.
He's a well, you know, Elven Path likes to play the Buck, but Perdo can play a great Buck as well.
That's true. That's very true.
And so Mokoa is probably still going to be Elven Path here. And now the question is, where are they going to end up? Sheepa could still be on to that. It puts Bugsy on the Shaolin if Jera stays on the Maldambo, which is interesting. I haven't seen a lot of Bugsy Shaolin.
Yeah, I mean, if you can hit the Drogos projectile as slow as that is, I don't think he's going to have any trouble.
No, probably not. Probably not.
A lot of the Cassie and Shaolin, and even Maeve is almost there to the point where they are projectile characters, but the lead time isn't super heavy. It's really that Bomb King, the Drogos, and the Eevee that you really got to be really good at leading to be successful with those characters. You are correct, though. It will be Perdo on the Buck, Sheepa on Shaolin, Jera
Bugsy on Ruckus.
On Maldamba, Elvin on Mokoa, and Bugsy on Ruckus.
Wow, that is an odd change, but hey, it's a welcome change as well. Get to see some Ruckus Bugsy. Let's take a look at the side of Skitlight. They've got Sorsa on Maeve, Waters on Cassie, Maki on Drogos, West2 on Fernando, and second on Ying as we head out to this capture point. It's 2-0. Nick, D69 can clean it up right here.
Trying to find an answer. Skitlight have 3 cauterizes, 2 wreckers here, and it's defense and utility for District 69. The morale boost, that's a confident pickup here for Maldamba. Only 1 offensive item, so District 69, they are feeling themselves right now.
I love Bugsy's scouting trip. He just took to the right and just said, what's happening? Where's this fight? I think I can get on this objective and still impact it. One of the best parts about Jaguar Falls and being able to be here at this moment, especially as a Ruckus, you can impact fights on the left and the right side while still capturing this objective, while being as tanky as possible. It's a great map for him. Even when he was underrated, it's been a great map for him. 69% and counting. It's starting to look like a great map for D69. Perdo in the back line, and he sees the target. He wants to go, lands the jump damage, but can he finish it off? Perdo mid-air takes down Maki, and the fight continues.
Moving now on to Ying. Gonna be able to get her unless she has the dimensional link. Will be Elven Path now on a double kill. Bugsy's been on the point this entire time, 99%, and now captured just 1 minute and 45 seconds into the round. And now the Maeve Buck is a matchup we haven't had the pleasure of seeing. I actually haven't played that matchup, I think, but 1 time, but Buck, I think, has what it takes to keep up with Maeve and as well as trade with her. But Sorsa does have the cauterize on the line, and Perdo doesn't. And with the pounce healing in combination with 9 lives and the second pounce, Maeve will actually have over 3,000 effective HP in a fight.
Oh, look at the B, though. That wasn't even for, that was not for vision. That was just a B. That tells me a lot of things, Nick. That tells me that they are confident. I think that's why they made the switch. I think that's why, you know, you see some of the aggressive item selections like Morale Boost. I think they feel that they are just better than this team. Despite the picks, despite all the drafts, it's like, give us any champions, we will be able to beat this squad. And to be fair, they've proven that again and again. They have been the second best team, sometimes the best team in Europe, the entire history of Paladins Esports. Now looking to maybe get a chance at #1 this week with Burrito dropping down. There's 1 minute and 20 seconds though that they've still got to push this into the payload to make it 2-0.
Dread Serpent could be big here if Jera elects to go for that on the backside. Sorsa doesn't have Midnight available to him, just trying to throw out some poking knives here, but Jera taking a lot of damage, gets the Dread Serpent off, so he gives his team the opportunity to win the fight before going down. Ancient Rage popped from Elven Path as well. He's able to clean up up Source. Dragon Punch still available here. Does he charge it up in the fray of in the heat of the fight here? Bugsy picking up Maki. Doesn't look like it's going to be that way. D69 looking for the conversion, but they get stopped for the first time in this series.
48 seconds, but they've only got a few inches to go. Second, and the side of Skitlight looking to secure a couple of kills, at least for now, to stave off these attackers who are running rampant on them in this series. Buck on the right-hand side is highlighted, but he's just going to wait for his teammates. Bugsy's in the back line too. He's going to start zoning with his machine guns. And D69, they've got an interesting decision here. Do we go for it? Do we spend our ultimates? Or do we wait for next round and give this a 1-1 tie?
They kind of already have. They spent Ancient Rage. They spent the Dread Serpent as well. They're only about halfway back on both of those ultimates with only 8 seconds here. Skitlight put themselves in a good spot here with that strong defense.
So go big or go home, essentially, right? They've got 2 more. Should they use? They've got 3 more. They've got only 1 more now, considering the others are down. Buck Wild could be impactful here, but how confident is Perdo that he can get a kill? He's going to jump into the back line, see what he can do, but right now it is only him and Elven Path alive. But how long can they keep this alive is the question. Finally. Because that could mean the difference. I mean, no, it's going to be nothing.
Source is just free firing there for all 3 of those kills, and that can't be allowed to continue there. Maeve is too dangerous, puts out too much damage if allowed to free fire. Gets the ultimate charge back up, top it all up. Barely enough credits.
While you talk about this? Can we just look at the deck?
Barely enough credits there for Cauterize too. We'll see what the Maeve loadout is. It's kind of been the theme throughout the day that they're going for more of the sustain, the pounce, shred 4, savagery as well. That's my loadout. I run that loadout. No, I don't run Street Runner. But pretty dang close to my loadout there. That's going to be just going for that sustain off the off the pounce rather. Source not afraid to use that for damage, and I think that's the right call.
Yeah.
It's 600 unavoidable blast, or not direct damage that goes through all shields. So able to penetrate Fernando's shield, Androx's reversal, Shell shield, barricade, all that good stuff.
And also you see just the similarities. Now Spitfire 2 almost seeming like a staple in EU with the new changes to Salvo, giving him that extra chance. And Maki, a fantastic Drogos at that, looking to find a kill himself. Will he be able to pick one up? There it is. Maki finds Jera, but although Thrill of the Hunt reactivated his thrust, he had never used it, but he had never been given a chance. Goes down immediately thanks to Bugsy and Sheepa's pressure. Now it seems that there's a fight going on the point, but will Perdo be able to out-battle this? Cassie Waters gets taken down.
Shot.
The god, Perdo, doing everything that he can for his team to get this advantage. At 63%, it's looking real good for D69.
Holds the ultimate as well. The ultimate does reset Buck's cooldown, so if he was feeling pressure there, he could have popped his ultimate to not only get more damage, but to reset the cooldown on his recovery to get some sustain there, but wisely holding on to that one. He's been holding on to it for a while now. I would like to see him, pop it through sooner rather than later here. Plenty of time left on the payload push here. We could see them go. He's kind of left alone here, starting to take a lot of damage, so I don't think it would be wise to pop it at that point.
It's so interesting with that ult because, you get into the Torvald range where if you don't use it, right, a lot of people do this with Torvald, if you don't use it, you just hold it for 2-3 rounds. It's like, well, what the heck is it for? You could have charged it up 3 more times, found a lot of value. At least just use it. But with Buck, it's just like, where's the right moment? There's a lot of times you can get an easy kill normally, and when you want to use it when you're under duress, you could die so quickly. Sometimes it's like, I don't want to use it, and then just die immediately, which can happen very often.
Look how much ground Skitlight are just giving up to District 69. They're immediately pulling all the way back to their base to try and hold this payload. A lot of times you'll see teams fight out in the courtyard in front of the base to try and, salvage something from it, but immediately giving up about 90% of the payload push is Skitlight. Hexafire comes out 2 for 1 right now. Perdo goes out in the back line. Ancient Rage is here. Dredge Anchor is off cooldown, and Elven Path nails it. There's the conversion as well. District 69 find it, going up 3-1 with a chance to close out the set. And I mean, when you give up 90% of the payload push for free, I mean, when is that the right call?
I don't know, Nick. You pointed it out really cutely that they were giving up a lot of extra space. And Elven Path and Bugsy, rather than sit and just say, okay, great, let's just stay on the payload and push it, they go and they aggress even more. They take more space, and then they combine a hook into a Hexafire, which is a great combo we don't see very often. We usually see hook in a Grumpy Bomb. We see hook into a lot of other situational CC things, but not so much Hexafire. But that's a great way to secure somebody goes down.
Absolutely. Cauterize 3's online now for Bugsy. Cauterize 2 for Perdo. A couple of defensive options being capped off. Shifa with the Haven, just trying to stay alive, I think, against Sorsa. Not a lot of options to go into Life Rip or anything like that, as Sorsa does have Cauterize 2 online. These teams are starting to clash here, but District 69 just so far ahead. There's the Dragon Punch right off the bat. Elven Path, not much he can do in that situation. That's fine to just take it and move on.
Good thing he didn't use Ancient Rage as well. And in fact, Maki may be a little ahead of himself there because the Ancient Rage will come back. They've gotten themselves a good advantage here, but the Buck Wild could be monstrously impactful. He's got to make sure that he uses his recovery to stay alive, get that lifesteal potential, heal up over time, and also just be able to battle out. And man, he is just taking Waters to school right now. This jump could be so effective. Oh, delays it though. I think he was delaying that, Nick, to be honest. Like because Cassie could dodge roll off of that. And so he might have just tried to stall out her timing, but either way, ends up getting the kill, and he wins that 1v1 yet again.
Yep, 57% now for District 69, 63 and rolling here. Skitlight apprehensive to move back in. Buck Wild still, I don't think, has been popped. Midnight here could be a good opportunity for Perdo on the Buck to use it. Sorsa trying to get in on this Rook out. 9 lives to heal herself. Pops the Prowl just to get out. Doesn't have any cooldowns available to her. Might lose this trade and does. That is big. Perdo, meanwhile, popping Buck Wild. Finally gets the double kill. And he is looking for more. Won't be able to get that one as District 69. Clean sweep through this series. 4-0, 4-0, and 4-0 over Skitlight.
I mean, we had the games of destiny happening in the other semifinals, and now we have, you know, the games of just mediocrity kind of coming out here. It's just a clean sweep for D69. Skitlight not really putting up the challenge that we saw Interlopers put up, and it begs the question here, how strong is D69 in general, and how strong are they against Burrito? Because remember, D69 faced Interlopers again last round, and were able to just get by them. If it had been Burrito last weekend, would Burrito have made it to the finals? We don't really know the power rankings yet, and how strong really D69 is. Are they going to clean sweep Interlopers here coming up in this next set?
That definitely will set the tone, I think. Maeve definitely has thrown the draft off.
Yep.
You know, contrary to Torvald, who we don't really see that much.
And EU especially.
This throws the draft into a loop because people, you know, if they need to pick this character, it throws off, you know, District 69 very similar. The HRX draft was more or less the same every single time here. And, you know, now playing new rosters where Burrito has only really been used to beating D69 in the finals, they have to start fighting new styles here and fighting old teammates who are now toppling them.
Now with champion draft getting more expansive and extensive with 17 new champions coming in 2017, you're going to have so many more counters and so many different varieties. Every single champion is going to exponentially increase the amount of varieties of different, you know, compositions you can create. Nick, you know, people also tell me that you look a lot like one of the champions in the game right now. They say you look a lot like Maldamba, actually. No, wait, no, I'm
that's you,
Fernando.
Dog.
That's
Damn,
me.
Dog.
That's the black joke. What was that? Wow, I'm offended.
Wow, the black guy.
Let me go advertise
joke.
this. Los Pollos
Classic.
Fernando. The PvE challenge, Nick, it's a lot of fireballs, it's a lot of chickens, and it's a lot of fun. Make sure you do this
chicken, dude.
because you'll be able to get some extra crystals if you complete it.
Does
so
that
you want to
chicken
go
have
there.
legs? Like, if you harvested that chicken, would it have, like, the drumstick?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Or is he just little nubs?
Are you really thinking about eating that thing, man? I don't know.
He's too cute. Absolutely
he is too
not.
cute. Yeah, I can't do it.
Too cute, boys.
I can't do it to him. Too cute. We had some great games. We'll be back for the finals coming up. Interlopers versus D69. We'll see you after the break. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Paladins Open Qualifiers. My name is Randy. This is High Res Pretty Hair, and it's time to get going for the finals today. It's Saturday. It's Europe. And, of course, before we get into that, though, Nick, we need to talk about something very important.
Sometimes you're just feeling down, you know. You're out here grinding. You feel like you just need a little bit extra.
I played my best.
Sometimes you need a boost.
I mean, what do you have to do if you just want to earn champion XP faster, if you want to get gold faster, especially with the new legendary cards coming out? You got to get an account booster, baby. For 7 days or for 30 days, you're going to be able to earn more XP, more gold, more champion mastery, and that's right, 25% off. Oh my God. Hold on. I'll be right back. Guys, I'll be right back. I got to go buy one. I got to go.
What a deal.
Hold on.
Additionally, these give you a
1 second.
A bonus
okay,
login. Every day you log in, you get 5 crystals and some amount of gold. So this thing almost pays for itself if you're playing every day while you have it equipped. So make sure that you continue to log in when you play and when you buy this discounted booster.
It's a smart move. It's a smart pickup. Let's see which teams are not the smartest, but the best coming into the finals here in Europe. It will be Interlopers versus District 69. And Fish Market and Ice Mines will be banned out this time. So Timber Mill will be on the table, which is going to be an interesting map in the rotation, possibly. And game 1, we're going to start it off on the beautiful newest map, Stone Keep.
Yeah, we saw Knessa played a little bit here, so District 69 could go that way. We'll have to see getting into the champion draft, heading straight on in there. District 69 do run Knessa a fair bit, but
Bugsy's a great Knessa as well.
He's a great Knessa. He's a great Drogos.
He's a great
I
player.
want to see his Mave, though. I want to see his Mave.
That's true. It'll be exciting to see. Let's see if the draft gives him the chance to play Mave. Obviously, these teammates can switch around. They just pick what they feel is the most important priority, and that could be taking something away. That could be shifting Bugsy onto a Ruckus, which ended up being a huge win for them last time on Jaguar Falls. So all of a sudden, Mave, first picked by Interlopers, do not want to give that to the hands of Bugsy, Perdot, or anyone else on D69.
I mean, Spunky played it great. It's good on this map because she kind of has that free angle where we saw Bugsy or Spunky do it, where he just
That's a great point. Yeah,
he headed straight over the rooftop there, and that gives you a free line to the back line. There's a lot of cover on Stone Keep, but Prowl is very loud, so popping Prowl immediately after that kind of gives your positioning away. I mean, that's obviously where Spunky's going to be coming from, but it'll be interesting to see how District 69 is able to react. They react with the Drogos and the Shaolin. Landing those impales was very key to shutting down Lemonade's Mave, and will likely be the same here for Spunkies.
Ruckus taken by Interlopers here, and you know, we talk about Spunky. If you're just joining us in the broadcast, Spunky is a former member of Burrito, who's the best team in Europe, but they've actually been dropped out by Spunky's new team that also has a sub that played with D69 at Paladins Invitational, which lost to Burrito, and that's unbelievable. Now they're both on the same team and getting potentially
Spunky
double
knows
revenge.
how Burrito thinks. Unbelievable knows how D69 think.
This is looking like an incredible story.
Is this the day of the substitute?
The day of the substitute. I love it, man.
So Ruckus and Maldamba locked in for Interlopers. Ying and Cassie is the selection for District 69. I like Interlopers draft, though. I have to say, I mean, those are all strong picks. What are they going to round it out with? It will be the Eevee here, so trying to shut down Shaolin. A lot of flank pressure into the backline, so Cassie and Shaolin, but a lot of burst damage, and something to account for is Bugsy's on fire on the Drogos right now.
And my issue with this is range. Where is the range coming from? They've got to be up close for almost all these fights. Ruckus, he couldn't do it. Unbelievable. He had 100K on the Ruckus prior to that, so he's going to be having a lot to do in this fight because they have no other range to compare against Chipa and Perdot and the Cassie and the Shaolin, respectively. Elvin Pap's going to round things out as the frontliner. Makoa, Jera will be on Ying for D69, and Bugsy on his impeccably strong Drogos.
Creatives is going to be on the Eevee, Kamaker, Fernando Unby, going to be on Ruckus, Gilganon on Maldamba, and Spunky on Mave today. The first items is starting to come out. Elvin Path with the Master Riding because he likes to play aggressive, and he's probably going to die a lot for it, and he needs to be able to get back quicker. Shippa's going to get the Wrecker. Bugsy's going to get the Wrecker. Both of those characters have abilities that actually supplement and scale off of Wrecker, so great picks up across the board. There's double tanks that District 69 are going to need to chew through right over the bushes. Reset. Doesn't pop the Prowler. He's already spotted out. Like I mentioned, Shippa He probably realizes he knows exactly where it's coming. He's going to hear the prowl immediately and withdraw to safety. Eating 1,100 damage, though. Bugsy's hitting these rockets. And Bugsy narrowly comes away with that. But you see the response from District 69. Cassie, Shaolin, and Drogos are all called to the back line to deal with this Maeve. And now they just resume play.
And you know what's actually great is that they were able to take 27% of the point there, Interlopers, and Fernando and Ruckus stayed alive because Drogos can't just keep firing on the point. Finally, Perdo takes down Unbelievable. Creatives is going to follow up with Perdo, though, and he's in the ice block. The fire spit will be too late, and he will be able to blink away. Spunky now picks up Jera, and this is huge. Spunky picks up Bugsy. Going crazy in the back line is Maeve. These flankers are doing the deadly deed of damage and destruction all onto D69, and with 93%, they are going to look to capture this objective fully against D69.
Spunky comes back in a big way, doesn't get dealt with, and just picking District 69 apart. Hooked in and punished that time, though. Elven Path on point for the most part with these hooks, but still so much time left here. And now, as we head into this, the range didn't seem to come into play too much there for Interlopers. The point, there's a fairly long distance line of sight, but you have to be very exposed to exploit that. You can see this building where Creatives is right now, those are not long lines of sights, and that's where a lot of these fights are going to happen here, and then the Cathedral here behind Kamiker. But as the payload rounds the first corner, this long-range composition drafted from District 69 should start to excel. They're going to be able to pick off and destroy a lot of these shields as they're rounding the corner here, so going to be difficult to break the base of District 69.
Nice fireball combination with the damage from Ruckus. The consistent pressure. Spunky still alive at such a low amount of health, but a triple fireball will do damage. Will Spunky be able to clean this up? Bugsy looks for the Dragon Punch, and he will find the Ruckus. Sheepa in the back line trying to finish off the Maeve, who's staying alive, double jumping, but a nice flick shot will secure the kill. Sheepa with the withdraw, now looking for more. Skill Ganon in the dirt because of Shaolin, and Sheepa right now is running wild.
On point shots, just time and time again. Heat Haze ready to go as well. A minute remaining on this payload push here for the Interlopers. They have the Midnight, they have the Dread Serpent, they almost have Hexafire, and they have the Ice Storm, so a lot of potential follow-up for this Midnight to come through. In District 69 now on the back foot. Dread Serpent comes out as well. Midnight is here. The clock has struck midnight. Bugsy just flying away, trying. Not a lot of kills. No kills, in fact, for Interlopers off the back of all those ultimates. D69 holding on for now. Elven Path goes down. Spunky's in the back line and healthy, and this could spell disaster for District 69.
But pressure was created, Nick, and that is what they wanted there. They wanted to push them back. Sheepa's in a bad spot. Doesn't know where he is.
Wow, what a read!
How did he read that? It was invisible. Finally, just the quick reaction. Spunky playing like a straight god right now on this Maeve. Gonna dash, get a little bit of help from the pounce. He's still alive somehow, but he will now start moonwalking back to the base. Unbelievable with a double kill, though. Could this be a 2-0? It's gonna be up to Jared to do something outrageous to stop this all. Dimensional Link will keep him alive for just a moment, but the push is successful. Interlopers 2-0 over D69.
I mean, such good play from Spunky there on the Maeve to just break open the backline. And what happened, I think, how he got that read, he comes around the statue, sees the positioning of the clone that Shaolin left behind, and knows exactly what direction that withdrawn, and just snapped immediately to the invisible Shaolin, taking him out. 51% already back on the Midnight ultimate there. For Spunky. Cauterized 2 online for Kamiker and Creatives. Interloper's going to be fairly far ahead on credits after that very snowballed win in round number 1. Aldamba leading the charge on healing, but Kira, now with Cauterized 2 online, should be able to try and keep that under control, but the Cauterized advantage definitely in favor right now of Interlopers, and these are both 2 very excellent healer players, so shutting them down is going to be key. We're getting into the pause right now with the miss salvo right off the bat. Not the way to start the round for D69, but you can see some positioning here on the high ground from Elven Path heading into the Cathedral here, trying to win this 1v1 tank battle, and that's the plus here for the Interlopers. They have the double frontliner for lineup, so they're just leaving Unbelievable on the point. They're going to start capturing this through, and when you do this and then win the fight, you capture the point immediately. You only have to win the one team fight to do it. It's a bit of a risk spreading up your team comp like this, but it's, you know, risk reward here, and they're already up 2-0.
Yeah, it's the silent fight, the fight that doesn't really happen. No one really fully engages, but you still get the objective capture. That could be the big advantage in this team comp. You know, Spunky has been, to me, lights out on this Mave, and he's shown that he can deal with not only stationary targets like the Shaolin, not only high damage targets like the Shaolin and the Cassie, but the Drogo's airborne targets. You mentioned it was a pretty good matchup for
it's not
Mave.
a bad matchup for Mave.
He's really putting a lot of pressure on Bugsy.
Fire Spit's coming out now onto the point. They look for Spunky where he came in the previous round. They'll see him dash out now. Fire Spit pressure is going to be there.
Huge.
Hits 800, so Spunky going to be on his last legs. Will be out of the fight for some time now. Doesn't, goes back in aggressive, and he's going to get punished for it. Doesn't get any kills. Nice hook from Elven Path. If Elven Path stays alive here, this is huge. He does. Great. He makes it out of the fight, thrust up onto the high ground. Spunky just looking for any unfortunate soul to be the recipient of that salvo, and it will be Skill Ganon.
I do love the salvos, too. He's just actually changed his conditioning from so long. I mean, this guy has not pressed Q on Drogos in like a year, I would say. And now he's finally just doing it on the perfect moments, the perfect times. Keeping that awareness in, especially when you know how to play a champion and you just adding those new elements is very impressive to do that quickly. Just shows the kind of quality of player Bugsy is in Paladins and why you all should be paying attention to the way that he's working this dragon and why D69 should be paid attention to as they find themselves now with a capture objective and a chance to tie things up 2-2. They've still got 2 minutes remaining to finish this push off.
Stun comes out on the Elven Path. The hook is here. Clock has struck midnight. Pulls unbelievable out into a rough spot, but no one from Dixter69 can follow up. Impaled backwards, and they're hunting Sheepa down right now on the Shaolin. Bugsy with a double kill, though. He's being led to free fire in the front line, and still Sheepa is alive. No kills for Spunky in the backline. Sheepa actually somehow comes on top after being pressured out by both flankers.
They put a lot of energy on trying to kill Sheepa, and you're right, it was wasted effort. Now Jera stays alive with the Dimensional Link. You talk about making it so hard to kill someone. Ying just buys time. You have to wait, try to see where she's illusioning to, where is she going, which clone is she going to, and that often buys enough time for her teammates to help in a competitive scenario. That's why the best Yings can be so valuable. Jera pulling out a great play there to stall out his life and make sure that his team had a chance to keep this push going. 1 minute and 7 seconds left. And again, we see creatives finishing off Elven Path, but Jera finding kills in response. This is a very momentous occasion right now, Nick. The fire spin is true. Bugsy comes through with the thrust, gets the bonus damage. One more shot on the unbelievable is not necessary. The fire spit could zone out. The shields are melting like a knife through butter, and he's trying to finish off this extremely vulnerable target with a great salvo. The Dragon Punch is charged. No need to use it, though. He doesn't want to throw that out there. He's going to hit a rocket into the face of Kamiker and Spunky and tie this up 2-2.
18 streak for Bugsy, 14 streak for Sheepa and Jera. D69 come back in a big way, tying things up. Keep all their ultimates on the board as well. Dread Serpent, Immortal, and Midnight were all used on that defense to try and hold, and they still don't get the mark. So now this is District 69's chance to snowball this. They're in a better spot than they were heading into the last round. They can easily capture this payload if all of their ultimates are finding value. With Cauterize 3 now online, Sheepa has Wrecker 3 now online. Those shields are going to be melting quicker and quicker.
Now think about this, Spunky and Skill Ganon, both very possible to pick up some of these kills if things go well, especially Spunky. If he gets Bugsy, if he gets Jera, if he gets Sheepa, all three his targets, they're all on 14, 18 streaks right now. He will get his ultimate very, very quickly. But here's the Dragon Punch, trying to make sure that cannot happen. Looking for the Fernando, he does take down Kamiker, looks to find one more. He will get the double kill. Bugsy looking to make it 3 if he can. The fire spit's gonna hit unbelievable, and that will be a kill. Jera will get this kill secure, but it's all Bugsy. 21 streak for the Drogo's player.
I mean, one of those days right now. Elven Path looking to zone out Kamiker on this Fernando, just dismounting him. Not in really any danger right now. The salvo has been primed and it's fired. It's ripping damage into the tank and the healer. A fire spit onto the high ground could be good, but the rocket is actually going to clip the edge there. Spunky finds the kill onto Sheepa, and this is a good start for Interlopers making their way back onto the point.
That's a big, big switch of momentum there. Will Does Maldamba stay alive? That is the big moment there. Creative's getting one of that'll know. Spugsy is there again to change things up. He gets 2 and he stays alive. Will he be 3? Wants to get 1. Slither comes through. Maldamba, will he drop down? No. The Gord is there. Fire spit in the air. Great idea by Bugsy. But all the while, the objective is controlled by D69, and they will get the capture and go ahead 3-2 in this game, as if it wasn't obvious enough because of the way Bugsy's been playing.
Salvo has been primed right now. The salvo into the fire spit. That's a good way to hit your fire spits. I might start doing that.
Wow.
The Dragon Punch as well is now primed and ready to go again. Long range fire spit takes down Creatives. He says, oh, hey, what's up, Gamaker? Got this Dragon Punch here. Not going to find the kill. He's just going to weave himself back out. But again, could have gotten the 4,000 damage out onto the Fernando. Unbelievable. Pops the Hexafire to try and get this defense stabilized for the Interlopers.
Immediately, I think Spunky needs to switch target prioritization to Bugsy. He needs to make sure that he goes down in this fight very, very soon. He's at 22% ultimate charge. Killing someone on a 25 streak would nearly charge that immediately.
I was going to say, he might want to just
right
go
now,
jump off the map.
Spunky is literally just annihilated. This salvo has become so strong, and it's up in 6 seconds again, thanks to the Spitfire 2 card that Bugsy is running in his loadout. It's going to make sure those cooldowns are going to be reduced by 2 seconds for each actually for each rocket hit in salvo. Again, 29 streak for Bugsy. This is unprecedented, Nick.
Another big salvo and another big kill from Bugsy. Takes out Kamikaze immediately. Dragon Punch charged up for the 3rd time on this push, ladies and gentlemen. He's looking for anyone. Unbelievable coming out of the base. Is going to get blasted. Direct impacts left, right, and center. District 69 just end Interlopers' struggle right there. Just put them out of their misery. They say, Bugsy, no more. These people have families, guy.
Holy moly.
Damn, bro. Damn, dog.
Oh, man. That is just nuts, dude. The way he is playing right now on this Drogos. I cannot.
It's something to behold.
I cannot deal with this. I cannot deal with this.
How much damage you did? Over, under 100. I'm not looking. I'm going to say, well, how long was the game? Tell me how long the game was.
14-minute game.
Probably under.
It was under. Man, good guess.
Not by long. Not by
though, Nick.
a bit, though. No, shout outs to Sheepa, though.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's
Sheepa
crazy.
Comes in,
that he was able to keep up.
I mean,
holy crap.
Incredible performance by Sheepa to just match Bugsy. But star of the show. I mean, you cannot deny how effective Bugsy was. And the fact that he was on a 32 streak, man.
35-3.
I mean, this is
that's something.
Stuff.
That character is extremely strong when you're landing all of your shots. And Bugsy, he doesn't miss often. You know, similar to Perdo and Androxus, Bugsy just doesn't miss on Drogos.
And it is showing that despite how well...
Shout out to that salvo fire spit, though.
Yeah, that was a good play. Very interesting. I didn't know that was actually a mechanic that worked.
Yeah, because it's similar to, you know, so salvo and planted for Shaolin, they're for all intents and purposes just auto attacks that come out quicker. They still scale with life rip, they still scale with wrecker, they still trigger fire spit, all that good stuff. So Serpent Beach going to be game number 2, and this is where Bugsy lit it up once again. So Interlopers, they have to take this Drogos away. That was the only way that Skitlight were able to slow District 69 down. They didn't slow him down by much, but it gave him hope at least.
And you know, my memory might fail me here. I believe it was Spunky or Skillgain. It's one of those that I felt played Drogos.
Spunky.
Plays Drogos on the squad, and that means taking the Mave away from Spunky. And Spunky's such a good Mave. It's kind of like, man, you know, I either have to be such a good Mave that I am beating Bugsy's Drogos consistently, or I take it away and I allow Perdo and the other team to have Mave, and I take a huge advantage for us, because despite how well I can play Drogos, I could probably play Mave better. But considering how well Bugsy's playing, I think it's probably
get him off
to
Drogos.
Your advantage to play, okay, I'm going to take a B+ character rather than an A+, but I'm going to take them from an S tier, right, to at least, you know, an A+, right? It's just, it's going to change. It's going to give us a chance.
It's going to be a net win.
Yeah, it's going to be a net win for us. And I think that's where, you know, they have to be looking going into game 2. But where do you think the draft needs to adjust for Interlopers specifically going into this next game on Serpent Beach?
Well, they're taking double frontliner. We saw them take it in the last game. So not only does taking Drogos away, you know, improve the double frontliner composition, because we saw how, you know, masterfully Drogos can just shred apart the double frontliner comp.
True.
But you make your comp better and you get Bugsy off of it, which is like priority #1 right now if you're interlopers.
And you see here also, usually we see kind of
there it is. They're like, no more.
No more.
We learned our lesson.
Now, will they pick Maeve here? That's the real question. Will they grab Maeve as well? And they will not. It does
Ruckus over Fernando.
It does. Ruckus is somebody unbelievable is very comfortable with.
That's true.
And so I don't mind that. Plus, they could be flexing a pick here because they will have last pick. They may try to goat them into doing something a little heavier and then bring out the Pip at the very end because they could have someone flex onto the Ruckus and Unbelievable can flex the Ruckus or Pip. And I think that could be an interesting strategy. I just haven't seen it when teams go that route to be effective with the Pip the way they need to.
Damba Fernando is, what, D69? Pick up in their second picking phase here. 2 picks to respond. Interlopers Shaolin still available. Maeve still available. No Torvald. EU doesn't really show the propensity to run Torvald. I'm really interested to see NA tomorrow if they run Torvald alongside the Maeve.
It'll be fun. I know that will. It's got to happen. There's no way.
It's
NA's
very strong.
Pass that up. NA loves that stuff.
Shaolin still on the board here. The next
This is crazy.
best
So they grab the
choice.
Maeve, and then they have Spunky who could flex on both of those.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, gosh, throw a Pip in there, I'm just going to be shaking my head because I don't know who's playing what at this point. Cassie comes through, and I like it. They take away the counter. I mean, as little of a counter it is, which is, I think it's a relatively big counter, but, obviously Maeve can still do what she needs to do.
Shaolin Eevee here, though, is still on the table.
I mean, that's going to be a strong composition. Buck for Purdue, seemingly, and Shaolin coming out. Now, will Bugsy's probably going to, he's very possibly going to be on this Fernando.
Yeah, could be.
Very possibly. And Ying comes out for interlopers. So it could be Shaolin on the Sheepa on Shaolin, who's just, they're one and the same at this point because he's just dominated damage-wise. So effective. Maeve's going to have to deal with that Shaolin. And I think she's going to have a lot less pressure on her to deal with somebody who's just so damaging to their front line, like the Drogos.
Yeah, I like Interloper's comp. It's a lot of it's on the damage dealers. It's going to be on the Cassie, the Maeve, and the Drogos to carry this because Ruckus just can't, hold his own on the point against 2 frontliners, against Makoa and Fernando. The lineups, though, Sheepa will be on Shaolin, Jera on Maldamba, Elvin is going to be on Fernando, and Bugsy will be on Makoa, Perdo on his Buck.
And on the side of Interlopers, Skillganon will be on that Drogos. Kamiker now off of the tank onto the healer. Spunky on the Maeve still. Unbelievable on Ruckus. And Creatives will be on Cassie. Let's see what happens here on Serpent Beach. District 69 have a Game 1 advantage over Interlopers. And they're looking to make that a 2-game advantage here, but it starts with round 1. They look to take the high ground, now aggressing onto the mid ground as well. Finds the planted, but he finds actually no damage on top of that. Bugsy gets a kill onto Skillganon in the backside. Sheepa, meanwhile, just being Shaolin, using that long lines of sight, that no damage fall off with those projectiles to impact the fight from a safe distance. And Purdue, meanwhile, has a chance to jump up with D69, 54%, and counting on the objective here.
Buck already headed back to try and deal with this Maeve. The sniper shotgun is not going to be enough. I think he healed up off of his pounce.
Oh my, he's still alive.
Still able to trade out the kill, and that is the power of Maeve. When you go all in, you have enough sustain and burst damage to take somebody down with you more often than not.
That was very, very important in terms of just, being able to get something for your life. It may not affect this point fight, but hey, Interlopers now 66% counting, forced District 69 actually off the objective, and Buck waiting for the right target to jump in on. He sees the back line, and he sees up on top Kamiker there. Actually, excuse me, that would be Creatives, but he's going to go down quickly to Skillganon, who finds a double kill. And Fernando's shield, Elvin Path, he's going to get melted here, and so he's going to have to fall back. A nice fireball will do damage, but Creatives in the back line, and he's aggressing onto him here. Maldamba slithers away from Skillganon, who's playing a great Drogos right now, even though Sheepa cleans him up, but the objective will go to Interlopers.
And he found 3 kills there. Great job on Skillganon, but the fight previous to that, Spunky, he's distracting Perdo, as well as I believe it was either Jera or Sheepa in the backline for that whole time. And meanwhile, the other 4 members of Interlopers are able to win back control around the point, and that is why they are now in control of this game, leading 1-0.
And now Cassie can use her ultimate freely too. It's so important, you know, saving it to counter Maeve's ultimate is a hindrance to Cassie. You want to use that at the beginning of a point fight. You want to get advantages in these small pushes and know where they're peeking out from to get the poke. And now, because they're on the same team, they can do that. Great pickup in the draft phase, I think, for Interlopers, at least to start this match.
Ancient Rage ready to go for Bugsy. There's a nice pull onto Ying, but Dragon Punch already coming through, and it will have the range to get there. Peridot able to find the answer back. The payload is approaching the final corner here. It's just now rounding, and Interlopers are still holding strong here. 3 members. Peridot going to be jumping in. Misses the jump damage, but able to clean up the kill. And Sheepa finds one on Unbelievable as well. Jared did have the Dread Serpent available. Should push come to shove. 1 minute remain here. And the defense holding strong.
You know, Dread Serpent would be powerful, but he wants to save that for the next point.
Exactly.
And of course, the Mending Spirits are doing just as enough work for him to support his teammates. But meanwhile, Bugsy goes down, just coming off the Drogo's play. Probably a little weird going on to the Makoa and just feeling, not only just hitting your shots, but just filling that different role. It's a different pacing to being a front line than being a damage dealer, especially Drogo's, who's kind of got his own free will in the air there as the dragon. And he's now just finding it a little bit too difficult there, going a little bit out of his realm of safety and falls a little earlier. Peridot, though, feeling himself on this buck, jumping in and jumping out and doing his thing as usual.
Spunky with 2 kills here. Both frontliners dead. 4D69. Peridot, he's trying to get in there, but he just can't. There's not enough health left in the pool here for Interlopers, and they steal a quick 2-0 away from District 69. They did in the previous game, but D69 show that they can come back, but not having the same impact.
With this lineup, though, can they? I mean, that's the thing. It's very tanky, Nick. But is this what they need? I mean, Skillganon keeps playing really well on Drogo. This is going to be really hard for
It's
D69.
such an impact character when the shots are landing. Spunky's finding a lot of distraction as well in the backline. That's giving Interlopers a lot of space to work with, a lot of free reign. Skillganon picked up 2 kills on his way into the fight. He didn't even have to go chasing after them. So definitely something to look out for. Sheepa does not have Heat Haze, but every other ultimate on the side of District 69 ready to go there. Dragon Punch, you know, you can almost... I can't really even say it's not available because we've seen Bugsy charge it up 3 times in the same payload push. It just comes down to how much damage this player can output.
And here's a great ultimate by Spunky as well. He's going to go to the back line, see if he can finish off a great instinctual shot by Sheepa. He gets 2 shots mid-blind by Maeve. Unbelievable. Last thing I'm sure Spunky expected. And speak of the devil, Unbelievable goes down himself. Elven Path and Peridot now zoning creatives off of the objective, and he's going to have to dodge roll back with that incitement loadout and just lifesteal, heal up, and create some distance before his team attempts to get back on this.
But still a lot left in the tank for D69. I mean, Heat Haze already about halfway, and we still have Immortal Ancient Rage. And there's the Immortal to counter out the Hexafire. So 1 for 1 in ultimates right now. The Ancient Rage and the Buckwild still could come out here for District 69, but they're taking this fight in spades. Creatives in the backline, rolls away from Jera. Despite Jera being all alone, he's going to let the healer live and trade out himself. I don't know if I agree with that dodge roll.
That's a big, big deal that was happening there. All that was left was Skillganon, and he was not able to get onto the point and contest, and so he dies shortly thereafter after getting pulled by Bugsy. And now the 2 frontliners are just wreaking havoc up range, up close. And it's kind of like a melee squad, Nick. Makoa, he wants to get up close. Fernando wants to get up close. Peridot on the Buck wants to get up close. And Jera is just boosting them in the back with those Mending Spirits.
Yeah, that was crazy that Bugsy, he almost stayed alive there. Here comes the Dragon Punch. Trying, Peridot actually able to give Skillganon the slip there. Dragon Punch does not land onto anyone. You can see he is refunded 30% of that charge for missing, but Peridot on the back foot. Spunky going to take him out and then immediately pop Midnight as he rotates back into this team fight.
I love this. No one knows, and immediately, Nick, they pull back. Like, they were just
into Spunky.
Yeah, into Spunky. They don't know where he is, but the most important thing is they just instinctively, it just makes them pull back. It makes them play defensive. That's the power of this ultimate. It puts you on edge, and that little bit of lack of coordination can make the difference in these team fights if this goes down to the wire, which it very well could.
1-2, read the score line right now. So Interlopers in a position to benefit from the point on defense if they hold here, so they will go up 3-1. District 69 really need to find the conversion here, and rotating back into the fight, Perdo trying to punish Spunky for being out of position, but this character just so mobile, getting a lot of healing from these Yin clones as well. He's ready to take that fight with Perdo.
But Sheepa absolutely being the thorn in Maeve's side here. Shaolin with those impales, and just with the heavy damage they can put out, forcing Spunky into Haven 2, just to try and survive a little bit longer, use those 9 lives, and get out of trouble. Bugsy, though, picks up a double kill in the Ancient Rage. Unbelievable is there, hitting the headshots, but he's forced out of the fight. And here's Perdo and Jera as well, and that is a dangerous clump of 4 that is going to do some damage to you. 30 seconds on the clock. Elven Path and Bugsy looking to zone here. Great hook, and Perdo's going to look to jump in. Elven Path, actually Bugsy just self-spinning away to stay safe and stay alive in this fight. He knows if he goes down, it's going to be a tough push for D69.
Missed the hook though onto Spunky. Maldamba stun onto the point. Here comes the Dread Serpent, lands onto a lot of members from Interlopers here, providing some space. Creative's able to answer back onto Sheepa immediately. Shell spinning in aggressively though. Bugsy looking to hold this frontliner down. Here comes the hook cooldown. It's gonna land onto Skilligan, and they need to find this kill before he thrusts away, and they do. Perdo popping Buck, actually saving the Buck while just finding 2 kills on his own. Does he pop it to try and punch this one through? Overtime is ticking through. Here comes the Hexafire to put his foot down. Unbelievable says no more.
I love it. Just goes into the defensive zone. Heat haze pop by Sheepa. He can see him, but she can, oh my god, he's so close to him. Actually, that the heat haze is null and void, because if you get close to a champion, even though they're in stealth in Paladins, they're still visible to you. And that made all the difference. That midnight right there. And we talk about that change in the game. That just changed this game. And they pull back, fall to pieces to Spunky. And it's 3-1.
Leading damage is Creatives on this Cassie right now in his comfort pick. And Spunky, what seems like is becoming his comfort pick, is not far behind on this Maeve, finding a lot of value here, and cauterizes are starting to come online. These healers are going to be less effective. It's going to be easier and easier for Spunky to burst his targets down.
I mean, unbelievable. He's at the 3rd damage. He's above Drogos. He's above Shaolin. I mean, he's above even Buck. I mean, this is crazy. Unbelievable is playing an incredibly strong offensive ruckus, more so than we usually see.
Spunky rotating around to the right this time. Does hear the cue from the planet, so he knows exactly where Sheepa is. First couple of knives going to miss. He's going to actually switch targets here onto Bugsy. Smart. As Bugsy was on the retreat here.
Smart.
So low. Perdo finally answers back onto the Interlopers. Gera all alone. Maldamba can box fairly well in his own gore, getting himself healed back up, but just so much pressure from all angles. There's a nice stun. Pops the prow. Buck, though, is here to put his foot down onto Spunky, but 57% and climbing 60% now for the Interlopers on the point.
Buck is here to save the day, and he jumps in and cleans up a Maeve with Prowl who could have healed up and changed this entire fight. Buck now has his ultimate. He stayed alive here and on a 2 streak, been able to pack 2. Make that 3. Oh, 3 kills in this fight. Buckwild comes out. Spunky could fall here if he gets 1 good shot, but actually he's got a reload. Perdo looking to finish it off, and he does. 4 streak for Buck. The dynamics have shifted just as a result of that 1 kill.
81% on the point, though, for the Interlopers. They were able to get some percentage captured there. District 69 in control of the point for the time being here. Bugsy is all alone. Does pop the Ancient Rage to keep himself alive. Midnight has been struck through. They're just bursting Bugsy down. That 10,000 HP was not enough to survive that onslaught.
90% for Interlopers, and Spunky gets a kill under Perdo. 99% now. This could be the game if they're able to finish this off. Overtime ticking down. Interlopers, are they going to clean things up and tie it 1-1? They sure will. The victory over D69 puts them even in the score.
And the Maeve just having such an outstanding impact here. And the matchup is good against Buck because a lot of Buck's damage comes from that heroic leap. And Maeve being able to hang out in the air with the double jump, the hang time mitigates so much of that 1v1 damage for the Buck there. And she was just putting out so much damage on her own. 73,000 damage there. Was actually able to pull ahead. Oh, no, not ahead of Creatives there. He did take the cake there at 80,000 damage, but just getting it done is Spunky on this Maeve today for me.
Bugsy, 60,000 damage on Makoa, which, you know, is something that we might see in our own personal play test, but is very rare. I mean, to see, especially when you have Sheepa playing Shaolin on the team. I mean, Bugsy seems to just be playing lights out no matter who
That's
he's
the
playing
impact
on.
of Spunky, though, is shutting down Shiba, is just making him miss shots, just buzzing around his head, not letting him free fire.
And that, because Shaolin, he moves so much slower when he is holding up those long-range shots that he wants to impact those point fights. Being able to be mobile gives up his damage.
Frozen Guard is going to be the game number 3 map played here between District 69 and Interlopers for the first time. Today we will be seeing this map ready to head on into the champion draft. Get game number 3 started here. First pick to D69.
And they probably, yes they will, go with the Makoa Interlopers now. Will they select the Maeve and go with something else? The Drogos and Maeve works really well with them. They could repeat the draft here. If that's the case, D69 probably will pick something similar. May go for a couple of counters towards the end because the cores of their team were okay. I think the issue was D69 didn't have the damage output to deal with Interlopers well enough. They had the sustain and the healing, but if they played that wrong, one of their tanks went down.
Yeah.
They just did not have enough damage to win the rest of those fights.
So they go for the Maldamba and the Maeve, leaving Drogos open now for District 69 to scoop
That's
up,
strange.
as well as
But I like
Fernando. So that could be a very strong draft. So they don't need the healer at this point because Maldamba's already been picked for the Interloper. So the Fernando and the Drogos could be strong, but it will be the Androxus.
Yes.
For the first time today. Just get Perdo where he's comfortable, I guess.
Rendroxus and Shaw, they'll have damage now. They will not lack damage on this team. That is 100% certain.
Well, I guess we're tunneling a little bit on just the drafts today in this series, but this is Frozen Guard. So
yeah.
The long-range character, Shaolin, going to do a little bit better. Androxus, you know, typically not doesn't really excel,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
any more so than he would on another map on Frozen Guard, but Perdo, that's the comfort pick, I guess. That's the magic of the comfort pick.
And I don't mind the Ruckus here, to be honest. I mean, they can go for Fernando. Ruckus has been doing a great job on Unbelievable. He's been serving just an incredible role. He's been their tanker. He survived longer than most with, Ruckuses we've seen, but he's also putting up incredibly high damage numbers. He's beating everyone on D69. He's almost beating everyone on Interlopers and doing his job as a tank. I'm very impressed by that. But this time they get the Cassie on the other side of the Maeve, and Nick, I think that's a big deal. I really do think grabbing that Cassie is not maybe the only game changer, but I think that it does make an impact and makes Maeve a little bit less scary when you can know exactly where she's coming from.
And they go into the Pip as well. No Fernando selected, so Pip double healer for the Interlopers, as well as Pip being picked into not a double front line composition. Evil Mojo is often used to try and break the double front line, but
okay.
I guess just the name of the game is comfort picks here.
I mean, if he's going to go and be Pip, he's going to duel anyway. Might as well just go full duel. He's not going to compete in the healing category, but they got Maldamba for that. So now they get extra healing, and they're just going to go for the damage.
Well, the lineups will be District 69 has got Bugsy on Cassie, Jera on Ying, Elven Path on Makoa, Shipa on Shaolin, and Perdo on Androxus.
And for Interlopers, Creatives will be on Ruckus Unbelievable on his Pip, Spunky on Maeve, Skill Ganon on Drogos, and Kamiker starting out with Kronos on Maldamba.
Master riding here for Elven Path, just allowing him to get to the point a little bit quicker. Kronos for Bugsy just to smooth out the delay in those dodge rolls. Couple of cauterizes for Perdo and Jera, and Shipa gets the Wrecker online here, but honestly, against Ruckus, I got one Wrecker's fine against Ruckus.
Yeah.
You know, there's not a lot of shielding, only 3,000 on that emitter shield. But just right now, trying to find that first blood.
But it will make him, especially if that Wrecker champion goes down, a lot more vulnerable. Spunky with Maeve takes down Bugsy's Cassie. And Bugsy, he's going to be trying to get some duels on with Spunky today. 12% and counting for D69, and as they move forward, they still have Maeve to deal with. She actually misses the jump forward. And Elven Path, she knows he could have just pulled her, but she dashes right away defensively, like we saw Eliminate use so well. And 57% will still be going forward for District 69.
Elven Path hooks Ruckus into not really a lot of follow-up there, just letting him know he's here, zoning him out, taking him off his mount. 90% there. There's the hook to get him off the point. No one from Interlopers is here, but no one from D69 is actually on the point right now. There we go. Gonna get that first payload online. There's a nice hook onto Maldamba. Sheepa cleaning him up.
This is going at it with a vengeance, Nick. D69 seem mad right now. They seem upset that they lost this game against Interlopers, and they want to put a statement out on the board right now saying there is no way you can contest with us. Get off the point. Elven Path with such ferocity, such great follow-up coming up on those hooks. 2 minutes left. I'm not sure they're going to need all 2.
Rolling now past about the halfway mark. Perdo eating a lot of damage from the fire spit combination there. Gets himself healed up in the back line. Spunky's actually holding down the front line, and this is almost reminiscent of Skit Life, where Interlopers are giving up a lot of ground to D69 right out of the gate.
Absolutely. Skill Ganon getting focused down by Perdo, doing a great job of using that hit scan to take down that airborne target and just pressure him out of the skies and into cover. Here on the left-hand side, though, you see he's going against Unbelievable. Great anticipatory reversal, but Unbelievable will still win that battle with the healing and with the AoE blaster pressure. Ying getting traded out with by Spunky, but Sheepa will clean up the kill and put an end to his flanking nightmare. That is Spunky on the brand new champion Maeve. One shot immediately into Planet. That will confirm the kill onto Maldamba. So no healer now, and the push continues for D69.
Nice shot across the map as well to soften up Unbelievable, making him ripe for the picking. Perdo trying to pick him up, but doesn't see the Maeve coming there. The pounce, there it goes, straight through reversal. The reset from 9 lives is not going to be enough as Jera takes him out. Dragon Punch is ready to go here, and that is likely to come out as D69 punch through here. They got to make a move quickly. Skill Ganon doesn't have the choice to go to the Dragon Punch now. Thrusts too far away from the payload, and D69 sneak it in.
You know, Unbelievable was there, and very, very difficult decision. You know, kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? You might die if you go down, and you stay up, you let him push. 2-0 goes to score. Let's break down the items going into round 2.
Not good there for the Interlopers going down 2-0 early. Cauterize 2 already online for Perdo. Wrecker 2 for Sheepa. Cauterize 2 for Jera. And another Wrecker actually picked up for Bugsy. Interestingly enough, Unbelievable. Strapped for credits right now are the Interlopers. Cauterize 1s, Haven 1s. Haven 2 online for Creative on the Ruckus, but that won't save him for very long. You can see Bugsy already fleshed out all 4 of his item slots, so that just tells me he's doing a lot of damage. He's getting a lot of work done. Scout is also available. Midnight was used, so not going to be able to use that freely. Doesn't have to use that to counter the Midnight this time around.
Huge knockback for Drogos there, sending the Elven Path to the back, but Perdo, my God, these snapshots are just nuts. In the air! Androxus takes him down. He's got one more shot on Unbelievable. He misses 3 in a row. Unbelievable! Nice dodges there, and Perdo finally cleans things up thanks to Sheepa. Bugsy and Elven Path follow suit, and it's a clean wipe, and it is going to be all D69 in this point fight.
42% already. Just unfortunate. I think Skill Ganon was close enough to that wall to eat so much of that accursed arm damage. Dragon Punch there is hunting for Elven Path. Is he going to be able to get away from it? The little loop-de-loop at the end there expired. The duration was not long enough there. Skill Ganon with a big swing and a even bigger miss.
Monkey trying to do what he can, but Bugsy and Sheepa are taking him down, as well as Jera. Let's not mention that. Jera's hit a lot of good shots on this Ying. We don't often talk about the support players unless they're playing Maldamba, hitting hot stuns, or, you know, just absolutely wrecking people when we notice them on the stat sheet. But Jera's doing a great job on this Ying, keeping them alive, but also adding some very valuable and sometimes key eliminations in this fight.
Spunky gets taken down. Perdo and Bugsy combining to burst him down. Blast shot not used in that fight. Perdo rotating back around, just trying to stay healthy. And again, Interlopers giving up a lot of ground to District 69 here, who have the chance to close out this game and go up on the series. 2-2-1. Koa just waiting for his hook cooldown there. Spot Spunky up, but she's so fast.
It's almost like, did he even see her? Like, where was she? Maeve just running around the battlefield. Such a small hitbox as well, and such a fun, light character, but she is getting pincered, and she did not even know it. Elven Path cleans up Unbelievable as well. Minute and 27 seconds on the clock for D69 to push this. They've got a 3-0 lead. They pushed the last one. If they push this one again, it could be potentially actually less than an 8-minute game that they were able to win convincingly over their counterparts. Great kill, but Perdo kills Spunky, and that is not good. Turns him into a chicken. Unbelievable. Finds Sheepa, but look at this. Jera is still alive, and this could make all the difference. So is Bugsy. This is very, very dangerous territory for Interlopers.
Jera keeping himself alive, both the Zine clones here. Nice Dread Serpent there, but Perdo is going to fall. He does not able to intercept himself a back away, but Bugsy has been here the entire time.
Jera, dude.
Finds 3 kills in the wave of respawns. I don't know how many in the previous wave, but just Bugsy being able to free fire on this Cassie. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't pull top damage.
You leave one of your best players and your damage dealer with a healer like Ying, who could just waste so much time, and that's when time is of the essence. You need to kill them quickly, you know, especially since even if they were going down eventually, shoot, I mean, they would have had their tank come through, Elven Path would have got back, would have restarted that whole train. And D69, like I said, they put a stamp on this game, Nick. They were upset about losing that game. They come out swinging, dominate over Interlopers on Frozen Guard, and say, you can't touch us. This is 2-1. This is our series.
20-1 for Bugsy, 18-1 for Jera, keeping him alive through that final engagement. 53,000 damage for the Hunter's Donner. Absolutely dominant performance just across the board from Bugsy today.
I think it was a weird decision maybe to take the Maldamba over... I actually, it went weird for a couple of reasons. The Pip and the Maldamba for me. You know, you never had the Maldamba. It was never part of your key strategy. I don't know why you suddenly prioritize it there, because you won your last game. You're doing all right. But the Pip coming out, we just have not seen Pips have effectiveness in EU, man.
I think that was like one Evil Mojo that game.
We just have not seen
it. On a Sheepa right there at the end. But...
and these last 2 weekends, it's been very, very sparse.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. A little bit of jank there. You know, Fernando not being picked up at all. Ruckus being the choice of the solo front line there on Frozen Guard, which makes sense. You know, granted how far open the map is, Fernando struggles a little bit as he is such a short-range character. Jaguar Falls could be potentially the final game of this series here as D69 are now up 2-0. We're going to head on into the champion draft for game number 4.
Game number 4 up and ready to go. 3 is in the books. D69 lead the set 2-1 over Interlopers. Now Interlopers, they get the first pick. They'll elect to go with Makoa. And so now they've got the front line pressure they need. This could be good. Since they like going with these single frontliners, Makoa is, I think, a much better one to be that role than Ruckus.
Drogo's first picked for D69 once they get the rotation back to them. Ruckus stolen away as well. So just trying to get Unbelievable off his comfort picks as well as getting Bugsy onto his seems to be the theme of the day here for D69. Maldamba, the first selection here. And now, will they pick up the Mave?
They leave it on the table. They've got Drogos and Ruckus on D69. They could definitely go with the Mave. So Interlopers have to take it or be willing to give it up. D69 now forced to say, okay, well, they've already got Cassie. Do we really think Mave is that valuable? Do we want Perdo on that or Androxus since he had such a great game there? I like the Cassie pick there for Interlopers. Kind of forces them to make some rough decisions.
Definitely. So the Ying, taken. I would have last picked the Ying, I feel like.
Yeah, you could definitely have last picked it.
Not a lot of teams outside of Burrito will scoop up the second healer. Right now, for those of you that may be new to the competitive scene, Maldamba and Ying, for all intents and purposes, are kind of the only 2 competitive healers right now. And Burrito are the only teams that we have seen scoop up both of them to try and run something janky and know, put you in a disadvantage or an uncomfortable position.
What I think they wanted to do there, especially priority-wise, they knew the Ying was available, but I think they wanted to save the last pick for the counter pick. I think they just wanted to say, rather than giving Interlopers the vision of what they were doing already with their damage, they wanted to say, okay, we want to see what you're doing with your damage in your lineup, and then we'll counterpick what we feel is the strongest flank for that. And so I understand where they were going with that, but again, Ying, priority-wise, was not going to get taken by Interlopers. That's the point we're making. They could have easily left that for the last pick if they were just sure of the comp that they wanted to select.
So the Evil Mojo this time around should be more impactful. Unbelievable going to be able to stay on a comfort pick, which is important because Ruckus was taken away, so he will be allowed to play that pip this time around. Creatives will be on Cassie, Kamaker on Makoa, Spunky on Shaolin, and Skillganon on Maldamba.
And District 69 will feature Elven Path on Fernando, Sheepa on Ruckus, Bugsy on Drogos, Jera on Ying, and Perdo on Androxus.
And the items now coming out, 2 wreckers, one for Makoa actually. So looking to be able to box on the point a little bit more effective with that. Skillganon going for the Chronos. We've seen a couple of Maldambas do either that or morale boost off the start. Creatives with the cauterize as well, and 4 cauterizers straight out of the gate for D69 with a double healer. I mean, that makes sense.
Very, very true. Sabo coming out just to zone the potential aggression from interlopers, and Bugsy hitting those fire spits again and again. He just does not miss a beat with this dragon. 9% already for D69. The fight starting to take place on the right side. And potentially both teams just kind of feeling each other out here. Both have new lineups than they brought in the last game. Unbelievable, trying to find some answers with this pimp, but so far, all he's found is Perdo's revolver. He nether steps one more. Nice play by Unbelievable. The AoE damage will not secure it, but they will get a very good advantage in this fight. Interlopers getting a few kills themselves.
Big stun there from Skillganon on the Maldamba to lock down Perdo and make him an easy kill for the rest of the squad there. 51%. Now surpassing District 69, but both of the tanks are here. D69, they're ready to bully their way back onto this point with their double frontliner.
Fire spit misses though because the shell shield was still up. They didn't burn it fast enough. Great salvo. It's going to get a lot of damage, guarantee it, but it's not enough to finish the kill. This could knock him off. No, Kamaker's perfectly positioned, and the shell spin will leave him being chased by Bugsy. Good heal though by Unbelievable. Great spot by the pip just to burst him up and make sure Bugsy can't clean him there. District 69 though on the point now, 78%. Unbelievable's got a tall task ahead. Ruckus is slowed, and he's starting to pick up his fire. 96%. Will interlopers be able to stand on this objective? No, they cannot, and it is captured by D69.
Just getting bullied out by the double frontliner there. And some good fire spits, keeping Makoa under pressure, under duress that entire time. Bugsy doing a good job there. Perdo gets shut down by Creatives off on one of the flanks there. 2 minutes remain on the payload push here. Unbelievable does have the evil mojo. That's going to be key to busting this double front line. You saw the way that District 69 was just able to bully their way back onto the point. And that's very telegraphed. It's very slow moving. It's very easy to counter with the evil mojo. What's not easy to counter, however, is that Dragon Punch.
And that Dragon Punch, though, can be countered by just moving away. Also, they've got the Ying, which, Nick, there's an interesting interaction with deployables, the Ying clones specifically, versus that Drogos.
Yeah, so the Ying clones can eat the Dragon Punch, but given that it is on the same team as Drogos, that's not something we'll be seeing this time around. So interlopers, they're going to be hard-pressed to deal with this.
Absolutely. So really hard to find a counter, especially no Immortal from Fernando. There's really no option except just to run away. But can they run away fast enough to be alive at the end of the duration? It was nerfed a little bit ago, was 5 seconds, I believe now 4 seconds. And so they will have a little bit of an easier time than before, when Jorvos was just felt like he could travel the entire map in that ultimate. Now though, Bugsy will get stunned out of the air, but he'll return some fire of his own. Missed the fire spit though, but a minute left for him to redeem himself and push this into completion.
A rare miss, 90% already on that Dragon Punch. Once again, misses the direct onto Spunky, but Perdo is there to clean that up. Salvo onto the high ground, just using that wall. And the new explosion radius there, trying to sneak around the back for maybe an accursed arm. Nether Step is off cooldown. Won't need to pop it just yet. Will give himself some more ammunition here. No ultimates needed for D69. They have everything available except Illusory Rift. 30 seconds remain, and they find the conversion with time to spare, with ults to spare, and with credits to spare.
Beautiful snapshots coming out from Perdo. His aim is so extraordinarily on point that it is a marvel to watch sometimes. The quick reactions and the way he can nether step afterwards. Keep track of so many different moving pieces.
It looks like an aimbot.
It really does. It does. And he's still going to be...
The way that he goes from such a fast-moving flick to just slow, perfect tracking. It's crazy.
Yeah, if we hadn't seen him play at lands like twice, we would definitely be reporting him to Drive Air.
That really looks like an aimbot.
Unfortunately, we know he's the real deal. 6 seconds left, Nick. Items coming in for this round. Looking like Cauterize is the deal.
Cauterize is the name of the game here. I mean, they've got the pip, the burst heal. They've got the sustained heal with the Maldamas. So just shutting that down shuts down a lot of what Interloper's comp is designed to do. The Dragon Punch is ready to go. The Accursed Arm is ready to go. And Interlopers are looking pretty clumped up and susceptible to this Accursed Arm right now.
They will be able to taste Purdo's revenge, his anger.
It's not going to have the range.
And unfortunately, it will for Spunky. It finds the damage. He finds the double kill. It's just a symphony of rockets coming out from the master himself. Bugsy here on this Drogos. He is just absolutely putting on a show. Skillganon and the boys of Interlopers have no way of getting back here, despite having some pretty good counters to Drogos midair with the Shaolin. They just can't find shots on him.
Looking for the long-range fire spit's going to find it there, thrusting away, priming the salvo. Zoning everyone out, finding a couple of ticking damage shots there. Creatives goes down. Here comes the Hexafire, the Immortal as well. 10,000 HP. I've never seen it deleted that fast. Fire spit.
Oh my god.
I mean, basically you lose if Bugsy gets Drogos. That's kind of the name of the game here.
Streak again, Nick. I mean, I thought we were, gifted with an incredible performance with his 32 streak earlier on. But an 18 streak again, I mean, looking to make it more on the
push.
push.
Morale boost.
This is just nuts. He's almost at a full Dragon Punch again. He used it at the start of that round. And there it is. There's just no way that they can contend with this unless they seriously shift the focus onto Bugsy.
Now thrusting up, going to get that bonus damage for the time being. Dragon Punch. Not coming out just yet. There's the Evil Mojo. Immediately cleans up Elven Path, which is fine because District 69 are just moving the payload right now. They're not looking to take and win this team fight. So, I would have liked to actually have seen that Evil Mojo saved for when District 69 are aggressing and taking a fight.
Minute and 44 seconds left for Interlopers to try and give themselves another chance at an objective.
They blew everything.
Another chance at this game, but they have no ultimates left, as Nick mentioned. And D69, well, they've got the Dragon Punch, and that seems to be enough. Just having Bugsy playing Drogos on their team seems to be enough. And let's not mention that Purdo's also on Androxus. That's a big one as well. They've got a tanky lineup, and they're looking to push here. Ruck is trying to make a move. Unbelievable with the slow, but here's the Dragon's Fury. Will they catch the damage? He looks for one. Can't find it. Can he find a kill off it? No, he still does trade, though, with Creatives, and this leaves Purdo with a little bit of an opening. Not with Dread Serpent coming out, though.
Now, Ancient Rage popping out, but ripping through that HP pool. Headshot after headshot. A minute remains on the clock here. Interlopers trying to find stabilization. Backs against the wall. 2 games to 1 here. 3 points to 0 on Jaguar Falls. District 69 look to close this set out, but they're on the back foot. Interlopers hold for the time being.
They hold, but have they held quick enough? Because Bugsy will be back. They've stalled the Dragon's Fury, but have they put a hold on the Bugsy's Fury? There are the chickens coming out, but will Bugsy in the air be able to clean up Skillganon? The answer is almost unequivocally yes, and that will result in a victory for D69, taking the championship for today over Interlopers, who beat Burrito on their path here. Congratulations to both teams.
Yep, so D69 now tied up with Burrito. Actually, did they pull ahead of Burrito today with that win? Because D69 have a first and a second place finish, whereas Burrito have the first place finished and now the third or fourth place finish. We'll head on over to the standings here to see where these teams lie. You can see D69 now 20 points ahead of Burrito. Interlopers and Skitlight neck and neck there at 85 and 65. If these 4 teams continue to make the semifinals, these will be the 4 teams that will likely go to land.
And it's very cool to see Cyclone and some of these other teams as well coming through and having consistently strong performances. Hydra took a game off of D69. You know, I mean, they're no goober, right?
They're no goober. I don't want to trigger anyone.
Don't trigger anybody, because you might get a couple tweets this time, man. Don't call somebody goober on live broadcast, brother.
Absolutely. So dominant performance, frankly, from Bugsy today on whatever he was playing. It just felt lights out. The captain is back, and he's in action here for District 69. Unstoppable on Drogos, and that it puts you in a rough spot where it's like, if this guy gets this champion, then we lose.
And of course,
it felt like straight up that was the situation.
I mean, today especially, and again, you mentioned a great comparison with some of the great athletes in the world. If they're just on point, there's almost nothing you could do. You could play your great game, but they're just going to make that play. That's how did they do that? That's the way Bugsy felt today on Drogos. It was just how How? I don't understand. I don't play Drogos even close to that level, and I don't understand.
We're just out here trying to be like Mike.
I'm trying to
like
be
Andrew.
I'm trying to be like Bugsy. Guys, thank you so much for watching today. Of course, you remember we've got all our cool things going on. The booster promotion, if you want 25% off of that, we're going to be able to give that to you. And make sure you get your XP faster, you get your gold faster, you get your champion mastery faster. And, of course, you get crystals every single day when you have that logging in, giving you some more flare chests, some cool Valentine's chests where they are available. And, of course, just spending more time in the realm is always a good thing. My name's been Rain Day. Nick, Hyra's Pretty Hair, thanks so much, man. It's been a great cast. And as always, guys, remember to never give up, never stop gaming, and we'll see you all in the realm.